So hello everyone. I'm pre-recording all of these because this week is gonna be the week that these are gonna be uploading. It's gonna be kind of stressful for me, so I'm just pre-uploading to a lot of these. So today we're just gonna keep going. So we just sent the D-mail to stop Ferris from unkilling her dad. So hopefully that's okay. And assumedly, she's not gonna remember anything of what happened in that other timeline. Which I guess is kind of good. It'd be pretty sad if that happened, but it is sad for me. But, I'm not really sure where we go from this. I mean, I guess the IBM 5100 will be in our lab room again, so, we'll just see. Fractal androgynous. I guess probably Lucaco, because androgyny, and yeah, this is gonna be about Lucaco. I wonder what happened, though. It's not like she really did anything. My head spins. I feel faint. Slowly, the world reasserts itself. You're just you keep finding new ways to say this. I think. Slowly, the jigsaw pieces flip back into place. I have teleported to the lab development room. Ferris is standing next to me. Oh, reading Steiner is telling me that the world line has changed. Additionally, the injuries the viral attackers inflicted on my body have vanished. So has the pain. Ferris is standing in the center of the room, looking around. The tears that were in her eyes just a moment ago are gone. Kelma? Do you know where Ferris' phone went now? Just a moment ago, Ferris was fighting to hold back her tears, but that Ferris is no more. In her place is the usual cute, cheerful Ferris with an impish smile on her face. I look at the phone in my hand. It's not my phone, but one with several cute, girly cat doll phone straps attached. Oh, here's your phone. Yeah? Ferris walks up to me with a teasing smile on her face. She pokes at my fingers with her index finger. Kelma, did you see what was inside now? ... Ferris gently takes her phone from my hand. If you did see it, then please forget about it, nya. Can't let that cat out of the bag, nya, or else they will awaken, nya. ... Come on, Kelma, you're supposed to say something, nya. You're supposed to say something, nya. Like, who the hell are they, or something, nya. I'm sorry. Before we sent the email, Ferris said she didn't want to forget. And I lied that she would surely remember. Kelma's acting weird, nya. You usually act all pompous and... Yeah? I embrace Ferris suddenly, pulling her to me tightly as I can. I'm sorry. Ferris remembers nothing. Oh. Nothing about her victory at the Rhinet tournament? Nothing about her escape from the viral attackers? Nothing about her father riding up on his limousine to save her? Nothing about how we talked alone in her bedroom? Nothing. She remembers nothing. Everything that happened on the world line was undone. What happens to that world line? I don't know. Maybe like Suzuha said, it still exists as another possible world line. Or maybe it ceased to exist the moment I sent the D-mail. You'd have to be a god to observe each and every world line, so it's pointless to worry about it. But one thing is clear. I can never return to that world line again. Ferris can never see her father again. Kelma, this is really bold of you, nya. Mayuki's in the next room. She'll find out, you know. I'm sorry. The only thing I can do is apologize. On this world line, Mayuri invited Ferris to come hang out at the lab. Apparently she came to see a costume Mayuri had made. Ferris has work after this, so she soon leaves the lab. Cloud had a fight with her boyfriend. How did I get there to make up? Mayuri's never been in had a fight with anyone, so I think it's mysterious. I couldn't fight with the person I like. Since when do you have a person you like? I figured you put food before romance, lol. This is mysterious. Why are some people so cruel to each other? That's because you're a gentle girl, Mayuri. I don't know. Oh, this is a tough one. Last time I played through this, I was going towards Kurisu, but I changed that. I think Kurisu and me aren't as close anymore. Or, like, we're not friends as much anymore, but I wasn't really intending to go for Mayuri's route. I was just sad because she dies. But, I mean, maybe, this is tough. I have a lot of very confused and mixed feelings about this. Um, uh, uh, Sure. After seeing Ferris out, I head towards the Anabayashi Shrine. On the way, I stop to a door and take a look around. They're back. The Moe stores exist again. Animate, Torinoana, Mandarake, Gamers, Lamtara, Melon Books, Asobit City. They've all returned to the streets of Akiba. There's a gigantic anime-themed banner hanging from the soft map building. Maids walk the street handing out leaflets, cosplaying girls advertised in show fronts. But the return of this familiar scenery brings no relief to my heart. There's only pain, for everything I see confirms that Ferris has lost her father. But I can't stop here. I shake my head and hurry to the shrine. On the way, I notice that the satellite is missing from Radicon's rooftop. Of course it is, Suzuha is gone. The thought brings a new pang of grief to my heart. Before this is over, how much more pain will I shoulder? I was watching the thing yesterday, by the way. I passed it beneath the archway and into the silent courtyard. I was watching the thing yesterday. I guess I can't see it here. But, it was, yesterday I realized I was looking at the, lists of all the CGs that I was looking at, and I was really confused why they were sorted that way. They are sorted by person, but it's not like one person per page. I think it's just like, it's all in a line. And for some reason, I don't know why they aren't in order, but I guess they are in order, technically. It's just that they switch around so much, because there's so many scenes that aren't in order. I just thought I'd say that, because I'd probably forget to say it. But that's why I was like, why the heck is Lukako on the scene with, like, Mayuri getting hit by the bus? It's just because Mayuri's CGs pass into Lukako's CGs. They're really next to each other. So we're just enough of them to pass the next page. Anyway, I pass through the archway and into the town courtyard. I walk up to the main building and jab the intercom. After a few presses, I get a reply. Yes? Who is... Okami-san! Lukako comes out. Girly as always, even though he's a guy. No, wait, this Lukako's a genuine girl. Lukako, someone should have donated an old computer to the shrine several years ago. Can you ask your dad about it for me? An old computer? I actually can't remember Lukako's voice. I think Lukako went pale when I mentioned the computer. She lowers her face immediately, so I can't be certain. I'll go call my dad. Lukako hurries inside. It looks like she knows something. Lukako's dad soon appears. Well, if it isn't Hoyomin-kun, thank you for taking care of my daughter. I rush the greeting and get down to business. If I'm not mistaken, there was an old computer donated to the shrine about 10 years ago. Do you know about it? An old computer? Why yes, I do remember that. Really? Yes, finally I've returned to the world line with the IBM 5100. Please, I need to see it. Sure, please wait here. Luca's dad heads inside the sanctuary in the back. Lukako has been silent this whole time. She keeps touching her hair and looking around nervously. Something is definitely wrong with her. Are you afraid of me, Lukako? Eh? I understand. I mean, I touched your, naughty bits, I guess. Crap, I just made things more awkward. I didn't have to say it like that. I'm not afraid of you, Okabe-san. That was really embarrassing, though. Sorry. Okay. By the way, do you know about the IBM 5100? No! Lukako shakes her head in an unnatural way. I've never heard of it. But when I called you before, it sounded like you knew about it. No, Lukako is looking more and more uncomfortable. Maybe I'm pushing her too hard. I should back off. I did a terrible thing to this girl. So it might be best if we stop treating her as my disciple. I need to treat her like a lady from now on. If I don't, I could get sued for sexual harassment or charged with attempted rape or indecency or something. But how exactly do I treat her like a lady anyway? I just treat everyone the same, pretty much. So, you're not gonna wear that costume Mayuri made? Oh, no. Because it's embarrassing? Yes. Why is this girl so lacking in confidence? I guess she can't help it if it's in her nature. But didn't she say her reason for becoming a girl was to gain confidence in the first place? And yet she's a girl now, but she still seems the same inside. That's strange. Luca's dad returns. His timing is good. My conversation with Lukako wasn't going anywhere. Did you find it? I try asking just in case, but he looks confused. Obviously something unexpected has happened. Well, I couldn't find it. You couldn't find it? I remember receiving an old computer, but it's not in the storehouse anymore. The IBM 5100 isn't here? I press my hands to my temples and stifle a groan. The world line is still twisted. The IBM 5100 is like a mirage floating in front of me. I can see it but never reach it. Pardon my asking, but the PC was donated by Akiha Rumiho-san, right? Correct? Huh? How do you know? Do you know her by chance? We're friends. Rumio-chan has grown up to be a splendid young lady, hasn't she? It was when she was still in elementary school. She came to visit with her butler, Kuroki-san. But why did that computer disappear? I thought someone might have stolen it, but everything else is untouched and the lock wasn't broken. This contradicts Lukiko's statement. Lukiko said she didn't know about the IBM 5100. Luka, do you know anything about it? You've been cleaning the sanctuary the past few years, haven't you? Once again, Lukiko hangs her head, almost shaking with fear. Her hands are trembling. Lukiko, what's wrong? I try asking again, but she doesn't raise her head. I don't know anything. The look on her face betrays her. Lukiko is lying. But why? Remember, she shouldn't even know about the IBM 5100. Why does she know? Because the world line changed, there's no other answer. Her D-mail must be the cause. In Ferris's case, I didn't know what her D-mail was about. But in Lukiko's case, I already know what it is. I want to be a girl. The D-mail must have had influence beyond Lukiko's sex, the butterfly effect. If something changed the location of if it somehow changed the location of the IBM 5100. Ah, man, this sucks. This sucks. We're getting like 3 girls out of the party because they just wanted to be like safe and have fun and have family and like have their dreams fulfilled, and I'm gonna ruin that. For the sake of saving Mayuri, this sucks, man. I mean, I like Mayuri, but this is kind of like unfortunate, man. We're about to kill like 3 girls' dreams and make them like hate themselves and stuff. This sucks. It was like that with Suzuha and with Ferris. I can't help but think that the universe itself is keeping the IBM 5100 away from me. At any rate, when Lukiko sent her D-mail, reading Steiner activated, meaning the D-mail changed the world line. If the IBM 5100 won't return to me on this world line, then my next step is to cancel Lukiko's D-mail. In other words, I need to turn Lukiko back into a guy. Suddenly I feel dizzy. It's not heat stroke, and it's not reading Steiner. How am I going to explain this to Lukiko herself? Just the other day when I called Lukiko a guy, she cried, then Kurisu and Mayuri ganged up on me. Can I get Lukiko to go back to being a guy without stirring up trouble? This is gonna be tough. Maybe I should consult someone about this. At first, I considered consulting Kurisu, but I don't think I should talk to a girl this time. Let's think a little. we're gonna talk to him. I visit Tenoji's house. The divergence meter is here. I need to know what it says. Canceling Ferris' D-mail appears to have raised the value by about 0.05%. Little by little, I'm approaching the goal of 1% divergence. The number gives me courage. Afterwards, Tenoji recounts his memories of Hashida Suzu, just as he did on the previous world line. I stay until he's finished. It's past 6 PM when I get back to the lab. Isn't Mayuri gonna get shot the fuck up? Fucking Baccarine! That's awesome. Yes, Baccarine. There are 2 girls in the lab, Mayuri and Kurisu. Who's this Kyrene? Well, welcome back, Flosavan Ocarine, doesn't it? When you put them together, it's doubly delicious. It's not delicious. It's a greeting I can only use for Ocarine, so why not? Where's Daru? Probably at May Queen? May Queen. So that's back too. So when Farah said she had worked, she meant at May Queen. What about you, Mayuri? You work there too, don't you? Of course I do. You know that, Ocarine. You're so weird. Mayuri's taking a break to prepare for Kamimov tomorrow. The timeline has been corrected, it seems. At least in that part. At least in part. Better than that. I should stop by May Queen when I have time. I'll visit sometime when Mayuri and Ferris are working. I didn't realize it until I was gone, but I think I really like that maid cafe. Me too, man. Me too. Kurisu's reading a Western book. It's the same book as always. It's pretty hefty, so it must take a long time to read. I walk past her and enter the development room. There sits the time leap machine. Today is Saturday, the 14th of August. The first time Mayuri died, it happened on Friday the 13th. After Suzuha's sacrifice changed the world line, Mayuri died on the 14th instead. Her death was delayed 24 hours exactly. If that pattern continues, her death on this world line should occur tomorrow, the 15th. Just to be safe, I should buy a few days with the time leap machine. I'll need time to solve the Lukiko problem. I should time leap right away. Just before entering the lab, I peeked into the Braun Tube workshop. The 42-inch CRT was on, so there's no problem there. Still. What do you mean, still? What do you mean? Will Mayuri really die on the 15th? I don't know what that indicates. That indicates phone thing. I don't know what phone thing to do. Oh, just a phone wave. Okay. I'm always scared that I'm gonna get a weird ending. Okabe, what are you doing? I thought we weren't gonna to. By the time Kurusu starts talking, the discharge phenomenon has already started. There's probably gonna be another ending. I'm gonna have to find the endings, because it's like... Okay, the ending I got with Suzuha was ending 4 in that little list, assuming that we're going from... It's either ending 5 or 4, depending on if it goes vertically or horizontally. So I'm unsure if, 1 second. I'm zoning out. What was I doing? Oh, actually, let me grab my water 1 second. I'm back. Got my water. What was he doing? So Suzuha's ending was either 4 or 5, depending on if it goes vertically or horizontally. Which probably means that there were endings I could have gotten earlier in the storyline if I hadn't done certain things. I mean, we'll see. Maybe once we get whatever ending we get next, it'll be the next one. But, I got that ending by just not using the time leap machine when I was supposed, or no, using the D-mail machine when I was supposed to. And instead of doing that, I didn't, because I just missed out on something. So maybe that was another instance right there where it would have branched off into a different ending. Anyway, an unpleasant sound pierces my ears. My vision ripples. My flesh and my soul momentarily feel separate. I grab my right wrist. I close my eyes, take deep breaths, and wait for my pulse to return to normal. I took 2 time leaps, traveling a total of 57 hours into the past. Whew. The worst is over. All that's left is a headache. I need to cancel Lukaku's D-mail on this world line. I sit down on a pipe chair and try to come up with a plan. Nothing. I've been searching for a way to tell Lukaku the truth, but every mental simulation I run ends with her in tears. I suppose that's to be expected. After all, I've already seen it happen once. I mistook Lukaku for a guy and she ended up in tears. I mean, Lukaku cries at just about anything. To broach the topic now would be like poking an open wound. Damn, it looks like I have no choice but to ask Kurusu. She's a girl, so she should understand how Lukaku feels. I called Kurusu out to the bench in front of the Braun Tube workshop. We're alone. This seems serious. Yes, I have a difficult problem that it requires delicacy to resolve. Delicacy? Delicacy? That's like the exact opposite of what anyone expects from you. That's why I want that's why I want to ask a girl. Plus, you're my assistant, so I need you to save my ass this instant. Oh, you. Why do you need to ask a girl anyway? I give her the rundown, including how many times I've time leaped and what happened with Suzuha and Ferris. How many times I have explained this to her now. This time, she believes me more readily than I expected. The only thing she doesn't believe is that story about Lukaku. Urishibara-san is actually a guy? That's totally ridiculous. But it's the truth. Was the truth. So basically, she wrinkles her brow in thought. She looked like Hashida? Crap, I got a mental image there for a second. Judging by her expression, so did Kurusu. You grimace. Unacceptable, there's no way such a cute girl was a guy. Hey, hold your horses, I never said that Lukaku looked like a guy. He actually looked pretty much the same. He was always androgynous, so much you couldn't help but think he was secreting excess female hormones or something. As a result, I didn't even notice when Lukaku became a girl at first and made a fatal mistake. It looked like she does now? Kurusu's gaze wanders for a bit. Acceptable. What? Anyway, you want to turn it back into a guy? Unless we do, Mayuri dies. Mayuri's life is tied to Urishibara-san's gender. That's so crazy it doesn't seem real at all. Have you come up with a solution? Of course, I'll have Lukiko turn back into a guy. I don't know if she's gonna appreciate that. That's why I'm consulting you, so I can find a way to do this while hurting her the least. I take a mouthful of Dr. P in a vain attempt to quiet my frustration. If only I hadn't been so careless. I shouldn't have let so many people send D-mails. This is my punishment. I must shoulder the pain of everyone who used a D-mail. Suzuha, Faris, and now Lukiko. Regret won't change anything. There's only one piece of advice I can give. Christina sighs, blowing her bangs. Don't say anything to Urushibara-san. What do you mean? Based on what you've told me, you have the advantage this time. You already know the contents of the D-mail. So you don't have to tell her. Him. Him. You don't have to tell Urushibara-san. Just send the cancellation D-mail. You mean pose as Lukiko and send the mail to her mother myself? If the world line changes, then that will all be undone. In which case, ethical concerns don't really matter. The end justifies the means, a philosophy worthy of a scientist. Just one problem. I don't know her mother's pager number. What? Are you an idiot? Why didn't you write it down? I didn't think I would need it. Kurusu clicks her tongue. She rubs her brow with her fingers while muttering and thinking. What if you just ask for the pager number directly? Think up a good excuse. That's gonna look suspicious. What are you so scared of? That's not the vain and arrogant Okabe I know. Vain and arrogant? That was uncalled for. I don't have time to be Hoyo and Koyoma now. Just make up some nonsense like you always do. I mean, you know how gullible she is, right? Wow, I hate myself for saying that. I'm a bad girl. Kurusu hangs her head. Maybe I should just tell her the truth. Sincerity will work better than underhanded tricks. I think. A mad scientist? Sincere? That's a good one. It's more like you say, I'll brainwash her. Mwahahaha. More like you to say. I'm being serious, damn it. I will shorten Lukiko's pain. That's my responsibility. When I cancel that D-mail, the fact that she was a girl will be undone. I'm the one who can carry that burden. So what are you talking to me for? Go to her now and tell her what you told me. Yeah, you're right. That's my only choice. As always, there are only a few worshippers at the shrine. I guess that's how I can keep its dignified silence, even though it's less than a 10-minute walk from Akihabara Station. Ah, Okami-san. Lukiko is sweeping the courtyard. I'm sorry, I left some Hidari in my room. No, that's okay. Really? Well, crap. Now that we're face to face, I can't bring myself to tell her the truth. Is something wrong? Well, I recall Lukiko's crying face. She looked very sad when I called her a guy. If possible, I don't want to make her cry again. No, why am I acting so weak? I can't stop here. I swore I would do anything to save Mayuri. And when Lukiko said he wanted to be a girl, he probably only said it out of curiosity. If I explain everything properly, I doubt she'll refuse to become a guy again. No. No, you're wrong. Lukiko! Yes? I grab her by the shoulders and pull her close. Lukiko's cheeks instantly turn bright red. Please listen carefully. The truth is, you used to be a guy. God. I'm gonna... No reaction. Or so I thought. Then tears start welling up in Lukiko's eyes. You're a fucking idiot, man. You're saying that again? Damn, I made her cry again. But this time I don't back down. Listen, unless you turn back into a guy, Mayuri will die. I explain everything. About time travel. About the D-mail Lukiko sent. About Mayuri's fate. About how to avoid it. I talk and talk without pausing for breath. Finally, I'm done. You're joking, right? Her voice is trembling. I can't believe any of it. This is more role-playing, right? You're being Koyoma-san, right? Right? She backs away from me, shaking her head. I don't like that backstory. It hurts. I think it would hurt Mayuri-chan, too. I know you're confused hearing this so suddenly, but it's all true. I've witnessed her death countless times. I'm sorry, I know I'm being selfish, but I'm begging you. To save Mayuri, I need you to become a guy again. Please tell me you're joking, Okabe-san. I can't possibly be a guy. I don't want to be. I've always been a girl, ever since I was born. This is cruel. And why do I have to hear it from you of all people? I'm so embarrassed. This isn't right. Lukiko covers her face with both hands to snuff out her sobs. What's to be embarrassed about? I have a harder time thinking of you as a girl anyway. You fucking idiot! Oh my god! Oh, oh my god. Lukiko jerks like someone poked her with a cattle prod. Her crying has stopped. What did I do? That's how you... of... me... What? I couldn't hear you. She lowers her hands and looks at me. Then she smiles, a soft, sorrowful smile. So, that's what you think of me. And then she runs away. Yeah, man. Then Lukiko shakes off my hands and runs away. Lukiko, wait! She doesn't stop even when I call her. She disappears into the shrine office. It turned out just as my mental simulations predicted. I sigh and leave the shrine, dejected. I need to come up with a plan. My god. Dude, you suck. When I get back to the lab, I take Kurisu out to the bench and explain what happened. Kurisu listens with an annoyed expression the whole time. When I finish, she glares at me and says, "You raised a flag. What are you talking about? Don't you get it? You raised a flag, or I guess you could say you tripped over a flag that was already raised." You mean a death flag? Why? It's a romance flag, genius. What? A romance flag? Urashibara-san likes you. Kurisu thrusts her finger at me. When her beloved Hoyon Koyoma told her she was a guy, it tore her pyramidal heart into tiny little pieces. In other words, your plan was a massive failure. She sure is calm when it's my neck on the line. Love is trouble. There's no formula for calculating people's feelings. Too many unknowns to solve for. She shakes her head like she can't imagine anything worse. Has this girl never been in love? The direct approach was a mistake. It'll be even harder to persuade her now. You should think of another way this time, like asking her mother directly. Though I'm sure the Urushibara family already thinks of you as the man who made her daughter cry, so they might have their guard up. Lukiko likes me? I don't want to believe it. I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, but... when do you think I first set off that romance flag? How should I know? I mean, think about it. Lukiko was a guy last week. If he already liked me at that point, then... Uh-oh. That's just your perspective. From everyone else's perspective, she was always a girl. It makes perfect sense. Think in terms of the current world line. Right, it makes perfect sense. Still. Anyway, there's a bigger problem. Will changing Urushibara-san's gender to male really bring the IBM 5100 back? Something's different from the previous world line. According to Lukiko's father, the IBM 5100 was definitely at Yanabayashi's shrine. Suzuha gave it to Faris' dad, and after he died, Faris donated it to Yanabayashi's shrine. That sequence is the same as the world line where I obtained the IBM 5100. So you're gradually approaching the original world line. You know, I've been thinking you really shouldn't be able to change the world line so easily. What makes you say that? I mean, there are 6 billion people in the world. It doesn't make sense that switching a single person's gender could cause such a huge change in the world line. According to Suzuha, taking different actions after a time loop will only change divergence by about 0.0000001% if at all. But when I cancelled Faris' D-mail, there was a 0.05 change. 0.05 is pretty big. What did Amane-san have to say about that? The year 2010 is a major attractor field junction, and the key is whether or not I obtain an IBM 5100. Maybe the divergence meter actually measures your distance to the IBM 5100. In any case, what you're saying is that all of the D-mails we sent had an influence on the IBM 5100's location somehow? There were also some D-mails that didn't activate Reading Steiner. So just cancel the D-mails that activated Reading Steiner and all the IBM 5100 might come back to you. The remaining D-mails were sent by Lukiko and... Kiryu Moeka. I don't want to see that woman again if I can help it. In any case, I should focus on Lukiko right now. So what should I do about Lukiko? Just go out with her. Seriously? If there's nobody you like, then there's no reason not to, is there? Get close and help her work through her feelings. Then she'll probably tell you what you need to know. Mayuri dies in 2 days. I don't have time for that touchy-feely stuff. Suddenly, Kurisu's expression turns grave. Only consider this as a last resort. If you're willing to hurt Urushibara-san, you can always take the information by force. She'll forget after the world line changes, won't she? In that case, I think it's a valid option. But only when compared to Mayuri's death. I hate myself for suggesting this. No, you're right, I need to consider every possible option. But I don't want to do that if there's any other choice. I'm not saying this for myself. From my perspective, when the world line changes, everything until that point becomes undone. But what about from Lukiko's perspective? What if this world line continues after I leave it behind? The Lukiko of this world line will have to live with what I did to her. That possibility exists. Suzuha said that's not the case, but there's no way to be sure. And since I can't confirm or deny that possibility, I don't want to use Kurisu's last resort. Besides, I have the time leap machine. And as long as I have it, I can repeat the days before Mayuri's death forever. Of course, there's still the danger of the time leap failure. In any case, the first thing I should do is have an honest talk with the girl in question. You should probably tell me before you called her a boy. I hear the tweeting of small birds outside the window. It's nice and cool early in the morning, even though it's the middle of summer. Too bad the cicadas are already chirping. The sunlight's not too strong yet. I couldn't get a wink of sleep. I was up all night thinking about Lukako. Ocarine, oh, there you are! Mayuri enters the room and looks at me with a disapproving pout. She didn't say Tutaru, and it's rare to see her in such a bad mood. Yeah, man. You're early. It's still 8. Something happening today? Dude, you suck, man. I'm here to scold you, Ocarine. She gives me a glare that's more acute than frightening. She's never been very good at getting angry. She's very disappointed in you. Mayuri puffs at her cheeks and thrusts a finger at me. What did I do? What did you do? You can't fool me, Ocarine. You made Luka-chan cry, didn't you? How did you? Luka-chan told me. She said she was a guy. Damn. Those two are close friends. I should have known Lukako would go to Mayuri first. Why would you say such a mean thing, Ocarine? Mayuri, it doesn't involve you. This is a serious confidential matter involving the organization. It does too involve me. Luka-chan is Mayushi's friend. If you don't tell me, we're not friends anymore, okay? I'm gonna quit being a lab man. This is the first time I've ever seen Mayuri so angry. I'm not sure how to deal with this, honestly. Why'd you say such a mean thing? I did it to save you. But I can't say that. I don't have it in me to tell this innocent girl that she's fated to die in just 2 days. Come to think of it, was it a mistake to tell Lukako about Mayuri's murder? I did make sure to tell Lukako not to breathe a word of it. You're worried about something, aren't you? She's sharp, even though she never seems to be thinking anything. I can tell. I've been watching you longer than anyone, Ocarine. And yesterday, you talked to Chris-chan for a long time, didn't you? If something's wrong, you should talk to Mayushi too, okay? I would have helped too, okay? Now let's go apologize to Luka-chan. When you do that for me, Mayushi will come too, so let's... Ocarine? Come now, Mayuri. Me? Worry? Don't be ridiculous. I'm the insane mad scientist Hoyon Koyama. I have nothing to worry about. All I have is the hunger for chaos. Mwahaha. Ocarine. I can't tell Mayuri. I can't. Even if Mayuri hates me for it. Okabe-san, I have something important to talk to you about. Please come to the shrine when you can. I'll be waiting. Please. Isn't that important? What? I told her everything yesterday, including about Mayuri's death. Perhaps after sleeping on it, she finally decided to believe my story. Alright. I get up from the sofa. Where are you going? Mayushi's not done talking! I'm going to Lukako's. Really? You're gonna apologize? Then let Mayushi come too! No, I'll just make it harder. I put my hands on Mayuri's shoulder. Please, take care of the lab while I'm gone. Mayuri's shoulders droop. She looks sad for some reason, but she lets me go. When I reach the shrine, I find Lukako standing alone in the courtyard. She's dressed in regular clothes instead of her Miko garb. She still hasn't noticed me. Lukako stands still at the silent courtyard. The only movement comes from the trees swaying in the summer breeze. It's like a scene from a movie. I stop and watch in fascination. Finally, Lukako turns around. Our eyes meet. Oh, she looks very pretty here. Ahem. I awkwardly clear my throat and walk towards him. Her. Lukako bows her head. You came. Thank you. We stare at each other in silence. Crap, this is awkward. I can't stand the silence, so I try to start the conversation. What'd you tell Mayuri? Sorry, but Mayuri-chan's the only one I could talk to about this. I mean, how much did you tell her? I kept most of it a secret, especially the stuff about her dying. That's a relief. Do you still think I'm joking? Lukako shakes her head. She believes me? You said you had something important to talk about, yeah? Fucking shut up. Shut up, don't Ferris it. I'm trying to be gentle, but for some reason I wind up talking like Ferris. I really don't know how to deal with Lukako now that she's a girl. Lukako takes a deep breath as if to prepare herself. Her face is turning red for some reason. She opens her mouth to speak, then closes it again. This continues for several cycles. What's wrong with her? Her tension is getting to me. My heart starts pounding like an alarm bell. Yes? Want to ask. Yes? ... Okabe-san, about what you said yesterday. Yeah. I believe you. That's great. So she's willing to go back to being a guy even though I hurt her feelings? For her to believe in me in spite of that makes me pretty happy. But something strange about Lukako. She still looks wound up pretty tight. In fact, it's gotten worse. Now she looks on the verge of tears. So, well, in exchange for becoming a guy again. In exchange, she wants something in return? I wasn't expecting this. For today and tomorrow, we can stop before Mayuri-chan's in danger. What? What is she talking about? You know what she's talking about. My throat goes dry. I'm so tense and I don't know why. So, please be my... I couldn't hear you. One more time? Lukako's voice was even softer than ever. So soft that I couldn't hear it from her from here. Please be my friend. No good, I still can't hear her. Speak up, I'll do anything I can. Boy, and... What? Please be my boyfriend. What? Boyfriend? It takes me a while to process the word. Meanwhile, Lukako starts squirming and fidgeting. She refused to look me in the eye. My heart is pounding. What's going on? What did she say to me? Boyfriend? Boyfriend. Boyfriend. She wants me to be your boyfriend until tomorrow? What? Well, why? Without thinking, I asked the worst possible question. That is probably the worst possible question. Oh, no. Lukako curls up even smaller. I like you. Her voice is as small as the buzzing of a mosquito, but it has all the courage she can muster. I feel my heart tighten at those words. Silence. More silence. Well, wait just a second. This is too sudden. I mean, maybe it's not sudden exactly. I've known about Lukako's feelings since yesterday when Kurisu told me about the romance flag. But still, I didn't think it would come to this. My mind goes blank. I can't think straight. Lukako hangs her head, waiting for my answer. She looks so cute and innocent, I feel myself drawn to... No! Hey, no, don't know. Just let her just be your boyfriend, man. Come on. No. That's wrong. This is just wrong. I'm not attracted to Lukako. Man, this sucks. Let me think about it. Give me 5 minutes. I turn and flee like a scared rabbit. I'm so embarrassed I can't look back. You. 10 minutes later, I get back to the lab. Mayuri's eating a fried bean bun. Ocarine, how'd it go? Did you apologize to Luka-chan? Yeah, so put the juicy chicken number 1 in the microwave and nuke it so that the D-mail's basically ABC and... What? The microwave was developed by knights of the Rosicrucian order who used alchemy, meaning that the sound of the chime was the brainwashing device, while the chime itself actually doesn't have any meaning at all. Ocarine's broken! I mutter incoherently as I set up the time loop machine. What are you doing? Making a tactical retreat. Retreat? How far do I go? As far as I can, yeah, that's it. Far, far away from here. I jump all the way back to August 11th, the limit of the time leap machine's range. You coward! Boo! When I'm done, Kurisu is standing before me, fiddling with the phone wave named so to change his wiring. Stop staring, you're distracting me. How many times do I have to tell you? She's still working on the time leap machine upgrade. I know I shouldn't interrupt her, but there's nobody else I can rely on. Genius neuroscientist, I need to talk to you. Make it short. I want you to come with me to Yanabayashi Shrine. Tell me why. If it's a date or something, then I refuse. Hoyomi Koyoma does not go on dates, much less with his assistant. Ridiculous. She's glaring like she's gonna kill me. Let's leave the jokes aside for now. So, I need you to explain the difficulties between the male brain and the female brain. What? I briefly explained my situation and what happened with Lukako before I leaped. How many times have I explained this to Kurisu now? Okabe-san! And Makise-san! Did you come to pray? Not exactly. Actually, we have something to talk to you about, Urushibara-san. This is the strategy I thought up. Its name is Operation Christina. Lukako reacts differently to me. I already know she'll have a breakdown if I tell her she's a guy. But she's not too familiar with Kurisu, and they're both girls, so it should be easier if Kurisu tells her. That's why I persuaded Kurisu to handle it. So I wait behind Kurisu and watch silently. What might be? What might that be? Lukako is shy. She was distant with me back when we first met, and I can see she's made a small wall between herself and Kurusu now too. On the other day, Kurusu was very calm. On the other hand, Kurusu is very calm, true to reliable. Kurusu puts on a gentle smile and begins her explanation. Did you know that male and female brains are very different? What? Hey, male brains are right dominant, female brains are left dominant. Yeah? By the way, the right brain handles image processing, spatial processing, and comprehensive judgment. The left brain handles things like language and calculation. You're even worse than him! The right and left brains are connected by the corpus callosum, which is more developed in females. You know how people say that girls are better at multitasking? That can be explained by the development of the corpus callosum. What? What the hell is she talking about? Actually, these theories are kind of fringe. They're not really that credible. So if you don't mind, I'd like to do an experiment. An experiment? I want to try mapping your brain patterns to see if they're more female or male. Well, what is mapping? Lukako's clearly frightened. Brainwave mapping. If we just take a small sample of your brainwaves. Anyway, you'll understand if you try it, okay? Okay, it won't hurt a bit. No thanks. It'll be okay, I promise. It won't hurt a bit. Just come to the lab and we'll... What kind of perverted old man are you? I lightly chop Kurusu on the head. What? Don't you want me? What did you come here for? What did we come here for? What are you gonna do if you scare Lukako away? I'm just treating her like a valuable test subject. Go back to the lab, you experiment-loving girl. Yeah, okay, so that's the thing I get. Thanks I get for going out of my way to help you. I'm gone. You're on your own now. Alright, bye. Kurusu leaves the shrine with squared shoulders, muttering darkly to herself. What was Makase-san talking about? Well, basically, do I have to explain it to myself after all? You're actually a guy. You suck. The result is the same, of course. I hear the tweeting of small birds outside the window. It's morning now. It's nice and cool early in the morning, even though it's the middle of the summer. Just date her for like 2 days, man. Too bad the cicadas are already chirping. Coward. Coward. The sun's not too strong yet. This is the second time I've woken up like this, though the date was different the first time. In any case, my mental state was exactly the same as back then. Through the front door I hear someone stomping up the stairs. I jump up thinking it's Moeka, but then I realize who it is. Yeah, hi Mayuri. Ocarine, there you are! Mayuri enters and greets me with a disapproving pout. Originally, Mayuri was supposed to stay over at the lab, but last night she got a call from someone and left in a hurry. She probably went to see Lukako. She's very disappointed in you. Mayuri puffs out her cheeks and thrusts a finger at me. Of course. I sigh in frustration. Before I time leap, this happened on the 14th. Today is the 12th. Since I explained the situation to Lukako early, it looks like Mayuri's protest came early too. You made Luka-chan cry, didn't you? Luka-chan told me. She said you said she was a guy. Why would you say such a mean thing, Ocarine? I'm gonna see her now, so don't worry. Really? Thank goodness, if you weren't gonna apologize to Mayushi was never gonna talk to you again. That mail should come in any minute now. Yep, it actually came. If I go to Yanabayashi's shrine now, Lukako will confess her love and ask me to be her boyfriend. But please be my boyfriend. But this time, I thought ahead. Christina, don't bring her here! I start yelling at the development room and begin to hear the sounds of someone moving inside. Is Christian sleeping? She worked all night, so you shouldn't wake her up. I know, but I have to do this. Christina, please wake up! Oh, shut up. Kurusu comes out of the development room with sleepy eyes. Christian! Last night she fell asleep at the desk. The sleeves of her clothes left a mark on her cheek. Her hair is frayed, her eyes are red. She rubs those red eyes. What is it? I'm going to Yanabayashi's shrine. Come with me. It's time for Operation Christina 2. Until the 15th. We can stop before Mayuri-chan is in danger. So, please be my... Please be my boy and... Please be my boyfriend. Same as before. Only this time I have to be your boyfriend for 4 days instead of just 2. I guess you could say it's a bold proposal. Fortunately, I came prepared. It's time to set Operation Christina 2 into motion. Last time, things got complicated when I added that experiment-living girl to the conversation. This time, I had her watch things from the shadows near the staircase. Excuse me, I need a moment. I turned my back to Lukako and called Kurisu. Sup, you filthy normal. Who's a normal? Think about how I feel for once. Did you hear what Lukako said just now? No, fill me in. You weren't listening? How am I supposed to listen from all the way over here? She confessed until the 15th, then back to manhood. Roger. And? Why are you asking me? Just grant Urushibara-san's wish. But it's Lukako! What's wrong with her? I mean, look how cute she is. But she's a... Her being a guy might just be your imagination. From my perspective, she's always been a girl. Gah. Just give up. Bye. Ah, wait. She hung up. Damn, why did I even bring her along? Yeah, why did you bring her along? What a useless assistant. I stuffed my phone in my pocket and head back to Lukako. Were you on the phone with Makase-san? Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh. You look like you were having fun. Nonsense. This pressure? Is she applying a psychological pressure? So... Lukako fidgets restlessly. Your answer. Please be my boyfriend. A 4-day trial relationship. Will those 4 days feel long or short? Just do it. I mean, sure, Lukako is cute. She's very slender and delicate, especially around the waist, and her skin is as white as alabaster. Even when Lukako was a guy, I occasionally find myself mesmerized by his girlish demeanor. Biologically, the current Lukako is a girl, so even if we do stuff, there shouldn't be a problem. But still, I'm on a mission to change Lukako back into a guy. I need to accomplish that mission to save Mayuri. If I go out with the girl Lukako and fall in love with her, then will I be able to treat guy Lukako like I used to? If I forget he's a guy and lose my self-control, it could result in complications. Going out with the current Lukako isn't the problem. I mean, I still have my reservations, but cuteness is justice, right? The real source of my hesitation is the thought of what happens afterwards. Dude, who gives a shit? Be a little gay. That's... too bisexual for this conversation. Problem isn't Lukako, but my own heart. Besides, I'm supposed to be saving Mayuri, not going out on dates. But on the other hand, Lukako's cooperation is essential to save Mayuri. I won't get anywhere if I reject Lukako and make her cry. For the sake of my goal, I must overcome the problems of my heart. I'll do it. I'll take Lukako's deal. But if we're going to do this, I tell myself there's one rule that you must follow. You must not fall in love with Lukako. Even if it means trampling on her heart, you must not fall in love. Fall in love and you could end up walking the forbidden path. Lukako is a guy. Bah, boo, blah. Boo. Guy. And don't you forget it. Just don't forget. Very well. I'll go out with you, but only until the 15th. Tears immediately fall from Lukako's eyes. Why are you crying? I'm happy. I was sure you'd say no. Thank goodness, thank goodness. Her face is red and her eyes are wet with tears. Yeah, she's really happy. Seeing her like this, all shy and embarrassed, but happy at the same time, it makes me feel... she's too cute. I mustn't fall in love, but I'm about to. Why does every single one of her actions have to be so cute? She must be doing it on purpose. There's no other way. Lukako's cuteness is the terror of the universe. Okabe-san? What? Lukako wipes her tears away. Tomorrow, a day. Duh? What does she mean by day? Please take me on a date. What did you say? A date? True, when a couple goes somewhere together, that's called a date. It would really be a dick move if I refused to go on a date right after we started going out. Okay, but where? Doesn't look like she's got a place in mind. I want to go where you want to go, Okabe-san. I want to know more about the places you frequent, Okabe-san. In other words, she wants me to decide for her? It's really unfair to be so cute. People forgive you for anything you say. I scratched my head and thought. Then I'll come up with something by tomorrow. For now, I just want to get out of this sickening sweet atmosphere that's brewing. That's I guess nice. I'm passive and on this. I enjoy this. We arranged to meet tomorrow morning, then I quickly leave the shrine behind. I breathe a sigh of relief at the sparsity of pedestrians on Mansebashi Bridge. Well, Kurisu was walking behind me. She was completely useless. Did you agree to go out with her? Well, I can kind of guess based on Orochimaru-san's reaction. Wait, you saw that? You told me to watch, didn't you? Oh, yeah. I was expecting her to give me advice. Guess I should have known better. We're going on a date tomorrow. Yeah? Kurisu makes a small nasal sound. She hasn't been making eye contact. Our insane mad scientist is dating a high school girl. That's not insane at all. Yeah. Damn you, Kurisu. Must you always be so cynical? Let's just ignore her and get to the lab. But just as I quicken my pace, she grabs my shoulder and pulls me back. I almost fall down backwards. What was that for? Sorry, I didn't mean to be snippy. I'm just a little irritated. Kurisu doesn't tell me what she's irritated about. Instead, she starts rubbing her temples. You made this choice to save Mayuri, so I'll change my way of thinking too. Anyway, do you have any plans for your date tomorrow? You're jealous. You're all jealous. All of you. Date plans. I told Lukako I'd come up with something by tomorrow. So far, I've made no progress. I can't help but feel uneasy about the whole thing, even though I'm doing it to save Mayuri. Well, do you? This calls for Hoyo and Koyoma. I have only one thing to say, assistant mine. I am the great Hoyo and Koyoma, a mad scientist with an IQ rivaling that of Isaac Newton himself. And? Naturally, as a mad scientist, I have no interest in this thing mortals call love. My incredible brain is devoted to the destruction of the system that controls the world, and the birth of a new age of chaos. You're obviously a virgin. Thank you Huh? Pretend you didn't hear that. You just hear that. Damn you, assistant, how dare you point out the truth so bluntly? I won't forget this insult. Sorry. And what about you? Your experience must be vast indeed if you think you can lecture me about it. I don't miss Christina's grimace. That's what I thought. You spend all your time on research, so you've got zero experience, don't you? You must have been awfully lonely in America, huh? Shut up! What's wrong with being a virgin? Huh? The genius girl who cried virgin at the center of Akiba. I wouldn't be surprised to see it plastered across the blogosphere. Thankfully, it's early morning, but there are still a few pedestrians grinning at Kurisu. Let's get out of here! Kurisu starts to hurry away. What's important for a first date is to make a good impression. Why are we in the maid cafe? Is this our only, like, get-together spot? Can't we go to, like, anywhere else? Fair's gonna be, like, all up on this shit. An unclean appearance is out of the question. A haircut is especially important. Long hair looks dirty, so it's no good. For clothes, you should wear something exactly the right size, though it may be trendy, especially in Akiba, for young men to wear baggy clothes. It looks sloppy, so it's not good. Why exactly am I in a maid cafe getting date advice from a younger assistant, who is also a girl? On the first date, conversation tends to break due to mutual nervousness. What's important is to play a conversation catch. One-sided conversations aren't fun for the other side. Girls especially like to talk, so the guy should try to keep the conversation going. Not just by listening, throwing in appropriate responses is also necessary. Responsiveness gives the girl the impression that you're really listening to her. Basically, you need to be the opposite of yourself. Anyway, focus on acting normal for now. No more of that idiotic laughter. You're too heavy-handed with girls. You talk too pompously. You fire off nonsensical delusions. Hey, you're just reading out a dating manual, so you've got no right to look down on me, you American virgin. Since neither of us knows anything about romance, we're studying out of a dating manual we bought on the way here. Who are you calling an American virgin? Who else but you? Yeah, sure thing, virgin. There's a saying, a fortress is judged by how many attacks it repulses. A soldier is judged by how many fortresses he takes. That's not a saying. Don't look so proud of yourself. You're right, this is a dumb argument. Anyway, this dating manual actually says some pretty interesting things. Kurisu flips through the manual on top of the table. Like, when walking down the street, be sure to put yourself between your date and the road, or whatever you do. Don't make the girl pay for anything. Okay, for your date tomorrow, make sure you follow all these rules. I wonder if I can really be that careful. And after that, there's carry a clean handkerchief, spread it out when the girl goes to sit on a park bench. I'm not her butler. But that's what the book says. When it's time to eat, avoid fast food of all kinds. Family restaurants are borderline acceptable. Anything else depends on your budget. Family restaurants are borderline. Where are the family restaurants in Akiba? Arrive at the meeting place at least 15 minutes early. Tardiness is unacceptable. 15 minutes early. Then you just need to decide where to take her. Movies, art galleries, strolling through town, the food are all safe. I see, it's easier than I thought. I was under the impression that a first date required going to a beautiful beach resort, exchanging your first kiss bathed in the light of a setting sun and stuff like that. Ah, that's really romantic. I mean, that's virgin imagination at full throttle. You've read too much manga. You too. Besides, your date's a minor. Shouldn't even think about bringing you to a hotel, okay? As long as you're okay. You seem down lately, Ocarine. Are you sure you're not pushing yourself? You seem really down lately, Ocarine. Are you sure you're not pushing yourself too hard? But don't bring her to a hotel. What do you take me for? That way lie forbidden lusts. Not to mention, Lukako is such an innocent girl. If I brought her to a hotel, she'd probably faint from shock. That just about covers it. Well, was my lecture helpful? You mean the manuals lecture? Anyway, strolling downtown counts as a date, huh? In that case, I don't have to waste money. Nya, Koyoma, are you going on a date, nya? Ferris comes to our table carrying drinks. Ah, she's gonna be all up on this shit. Thanks for waiting. I'll prepare your iced coffee, nya. As usual, she pours in milk and syrup right in front of me. Kurusu watches with great interest. I guess this is her first time at a maid cafe. It's Mayushi the lucky girl, nya? Ferris winks at me playfully while stirring Kurusu's iced coffee. Why would you think that? Nya? Not her, nya? Then... Ferris looks at Kurusu. Is it her, nya? What? No, she's my assistant. Dude, it's fucking stupid. Her face. It's the immediate switch to her angry pouting face. Kurusu and I exchanged glares sharper than a sword's blade. I swear sparks were flying. It's some other girl, nya. Koyoma, you tomcat. You're making moves on too many girls, nya. Oh ho, so you're making moves on too many girls, huh? What nonsense. Well, I guess I did hug Ferris. But that was on the 14th, so when I time looped to the 12th, it was undone. I shake off a pang of loneliness and return to the conversation. Me too. You know what? I feel the same way. The next day finds me strolling around Akiba with Lukako. So, where to next? Event number 1, lunch at a family restaurant, is already complete. I took care of the bill, and now we're back out in the heat. I got the entire day planned out in my head. The next event is... How about we take a walk around town? Okay. It's Oban holiday, so Akiba is crowded. To avoid the crowds, we end up walking through the back streets. My plan is to walk with Lukako all the way to Ueno and back. That should be enough, right? I walk quickly. This conversation thing isn't going so well. I tried to follow the guide's advice and be a good listener, but Lukako's silent by nature. She doesn't really start talking on her own. Even at the family restaurant, the words we exchanged were mostly just things like, it's crowded today, it's delicious, and it was delicious. And I think it was a mistake to just wander around. Especially since we ended up in a residential area with no interesting scenery whatsoever. Okabe-san. Lukako speaks up, she's a few steps behind me. Yeah? I stop and turn around. Lukako catches up and we start walking together again. Do you remember? About the first time you and I met? Yeah, of course. What I actually remember is how I met the male Lukako. It was during Golden Week in May. I was searching Akiba for materials to build a new future gadget when I saw Lukako in his Miko garb, surrounded by some cameramen. Please stop. I can't... Please, let me take just one photo. That cosplay is super moe. I've never seen such a cute Miko cosplayer before. This isn't a cosplay. If you could make a cute pose, I'd be super happy. Do that thing, you know, the thing Megumi-tan does in Miko Overdrive. Yeah, that would be awesome. You know Megami-tan, right? Can you do it? Can you do it for us? I don't know. Sorry. What's wrong? If you come to Akiba and cosplay, that means you want people to take your picture, right? That's right. Or are you rejecting us because we're losers? No, it's just... This isn't cosplay. To be honest, the Miko garb fascinated me. Because Miko are sacred, chosen to serve the gods. I know college girls are doing it for money these days, but as far as I'm concerned, that's sacrilege. As it's demanding to photograph a sacred Miko, I couldn't let it pass. You with the cameras. Eh? Who are you? Who am I? I'm the great Hoyon Koyoma, a bearer of the mightiest brain since Einstein himself, the insane mad scientist who will bring chaos to the world. Mwahaha! What's with this guy? He's nuts. Stop right there. This Miko clearly does not want your attention. Get out of here, Trinubio. You trying to be cool and save a girl for smacks in return? You're just another pervert. Look in the mirror when you say that. You're the ones harassing this frail girl, forcing her to take perverted pictures. Have you no otaku pride? I'm a cameraman who frightens a sacred Miko is no cameraman at all. He's nothing but low-life scum, unfit to walk the holy streets of Akiba. What? Everyone's aiming for low-angle shots of cute 3D girls. Amateur cosplayers should take what they get. When you cosplay an Akiba, you're asking to get photographed. That's how it works. No, I'm a guy. Instantly, our jaws dropped to the ground. So, there's no point in photographing me? Lukiko murmured sadly. Really? No way someone this cute can't be a guy. I'm a guy. I even have an Adam's apple. Lukiko lifted his chin a bit, exposing his pale neck. That gesture was really sexy, but there was indeed a lump on his neck. Then you've got one down there too? Lukiko nodded reluctantly. He was already crying by that point. So were the cameramen. What the hell? This is fraud! What kind of guy wears Miko robes? You some kind of pervert? Thank God I didn't take a picture. I feel tricked. They left the place, mumbling complaints all the while. Those bastards were a disgrace to otaku everywhere. Dara would have said something like, "Someone this cute can't be a girl. So you're a trap? Awesome!" Dara was the true otaku. Thank you very much. Huh? No, it's nothing. But you're disappointed that you saved a guy, aren't you? I'm sorry, I can't live up to your expectations. What's your name? Rushibara Luka. Why are you apologizing? I mean, I look like this, but I'm a guy. It matters not. Matters not. I'm sorry, I should put more emphasis into that. Huh? It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. We need to work on that inferiority complex of yours. Come with me. I shall bestow upon you a mighty gift, an item that will give you courage. I'm sure you too have noticed the true power that sleeps inside of you. What's wrong? You desire power, don't you? Power? Indeed, I can grant you power. All you need is the will, the desire, the hunger. Never again will you fear a camera lens. After that, we went to Bladeworks and you brought me a Samidare. I didn't expect that. Ah, well, I didn't expect he'd actually come with me. But when he did, I realized that he had potential. That's why I bought him the 980 yen, tax included, demon sword. Afterwards, Lukiko and I went through intense training to develop the Senshin Zanma School of Swordsmanship. In retrospect, I can't believe I said all that ridiculous stuff. It makes me want to crawl into a hole and hide. I was really surprised when you said it didn't matter, but at the same time, it really made me happy. It's strange, huh? Those words really moved me. Lukiko's cheeks then turned rosy pink. Her blush is too powerful. I have to look away. Ever since you said those words, I liked you. Wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. Is she saying what I think she's saying? But that Lukiko was a guy. Does that mean I made the guy Lukiko fall in love with me? My mind goes blank. Oh god. By the time I drop her off back at the shrine, I'm worn out physically and mentally. We ended up walking for 4 hours straight, which was tiring, but my mental exhaustion is greater. In the end, we didn't talk much. We just walked. Today was really fun. Really? She's just saying that out of consideration. I can tell that she's forcing her smile. All through the date, I couldn't stop thinking about the time Lukiko fell in love with me, so I barely made conversation at all. That manual was completely useless. On this world line, Lukiko was a girl from the beginning, so Lukiko's memories of when we first met might be inconsistent with mine. But even with that in consideration, Lukiko's story still felt out of place. So, Lukiko fidgets as she whispers. What is it? Well, tomorrow. She wants to go on a date again tomorrow? I mean, we are a couple, and we are going out, and that means like we like each other, and it's summer break right now, so it's natural to go on a date every day. I want to be with Okabe-san again tomorrow. Thanks. Is that okay? Of course it is. Yes, of course. Thank goodness. Lukiko smiles again. She looks so happy and relieved. Seeing her like this makes incomprehensible feelings well up inside me. Well, see you tomorrow. I feel a huge weight on my shoulders. Another date tomorrow. Tomorrow. Ta-da-da! Welcome back, everybody! Die, you filthy normal. When I return to the lab, I am greeted by Yuri's smile and Dairo's pure hatred. Since when does a true newbie patient like you rattle a girlfriend? It's not right, man. How'd your day with Luka-chan go? Well, stage clear somehow, probably. Probably not, actually. Kamima's the day after tomorrow, you know? What if you and Luka-chan go as a cosplay couple? Maybe you could persuade her to go now that you're her boyfriend. She never says yes to me, and I've asked her so many times too. But if Ocarina asks her, I'm sure she'll say okay. I refuse. Yeah? Why? Because Kamima's on the 15th. Mayuri is fated to die that night. How am I supposed to spend the hours before her death cosplaying at Kamima? To be honest, I don't get this dating thing. Yeah, Okarina, you idiot. Those words are an insult to virgins the world over. Apologize to the virgins. Just think about it. All you do is walk, eat, and go home, and the whole time you have to worry about what your partner is thinking. What's fun about that? Don't say that, Okarina. You make Luka-chan sad. Mayuri's expression is uncharacteristically serious. You know, just being with the person she likes is enough to make a girl happy. That's all she really needs. Doesn't being together make boys happy too? If not, that makes Mayuri sad. Why would that make Mayuri sad? Ocarina's a minority. I mean, dates are a great opportunity for age scenes. You're an idiot. Come on, holding hands and stuff's pretty age, isn't it? And when you're arm in arm and her boob hits your elbow, that's like super mega age. And then at the end of the date, you kiss, right? Damn you, death to normals. You play too much eroge. Hey, what's Luka-chan for Ocarina? When? Well... I was really surprised when you said it didn't matter, but at the same time, it really made me happy. Ever since you said those words, I've liked you. I think back on what she said. Something still feels off about her story. I said that Luka's gender didn't matter. I remember that clearly. But didn't I say that because Lukako was a guy? Right, that doesn't make sense. Now I know it feels out of place. I wouldn't have said that to a female Lukako, so why does this Lukako remember what I said back then? I recall what happened with Ferris. I remember now. The witch Ferris made was the same Papa who died 10 years ago now. Ferris regained her memories from before she sent the D-mail. Could Lukako too have remembered the previous world line where she was a guy? That would explain everything. However, she remembers that event and she said she liked me for it, so... Did Lukako like me even when she was a guy? I think I need to check this out. The next morning, I head to the shrine to meet up with Lukako. She's already waiting in the courtyard. When she sees me, she smiles and waves her hand. Too cute. Must resist. Good morning. Morning. Where are we going today? For that. Yes? I make up my mind and throw out the question. Do you have any memories of when you were a guy? Lukako twitches for a moment, and then she hangs her head. No, I don't. Really? Lukako just nods stiffly. I consider a more forceful approach, but the words of that dating manual blaze inside my head. Whatever you do, don't make the girl sad. You might get dumped. If I get dumped, then what will happen to our 4-day agreement? Lukako might refuse to turn back into a guy. No, Lukako's not like that. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance, so I'm sure no matter what I say, she'll turn back. Or is it naive of me to think that? Either way. Even though I'm doing this to save Mayuri, I can't just trample on Lukako's pure maidenly heart. Neither one of us speaks. Mutual distrust, suspicion, discomfort. One word could shatter our temporary relationship. Lukako's the first to break the suffocating silence. I'm sorry. Let's cancel today's date. Lukako bows her head and goes back into the shrine office. I hurt her. I feel guilty, but at the same time relieved. I hate myself for it. I do hate you for it too. Instead of returning to the lab, I stand on the bridge in front of the station and gaze blankly at the stream of people. Ferris might be visiting the lab. Ferris was at the lab on this day when I first came to the world line. My actions shouldn't have influenced Mayuri's, so she should have called Ferris over to show her the costumes. Right now, I don't want to see anybody. I need to think. But try as I might, no ideas come, no solutions. Lukako agreed to go back to being a guy if I went out with her for a time. I've stayed faithful to that, so... Faithful? How? I just made a huge mistake back there. I've done nothing but make Lukako sad. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 15th, the day Kamima opens, the day Mayuri dies. At the very least, I need to make our relationship last until that evening. Tomorrow is the end. But I'm not confident I can show Lukako a fun time. Alright, so instead of fussing over a date, I'll just try something that won't make Lukako sad. Oh, I just saw the screen has the Bodycon on it. The next morning, after Mayuri and Daru have left for Ariake, I head to the shrine to pick up Lukako. We hop the train at Akiba Station. When she scans at me, I tell her we're going to see Mayuri. Today it won't be just the two of us. I don't know what to say when we're all alone. I'm afraid I'll hurt her again. It's time to try something different. When we get off the train at Tokyo Big Sight, Lukako stares in wonder at the scene spread before her. People, people, people. People as far as the eye can see. Welcome to Kamima, the Otaku Festival. It's the first day, so Big Sight's more crowded than usual. This is my plan, to take Lukako to Kamima. I'm not making her cosplay, of course. Lukako wouldn't even do that at Mayuri's quest. Mayuri's request. And I don't want to force her to do anything she doesn't want to. We're just here to look and have fun. The first order of business is to hook up with Mayuri and Daru. Those two live and breathe Kamima, so I'm sure they'll have a lot to talk about. Conversation will flow and I'll be off the hook. How wonderful to have friends you can count on. Of course, bringing a date to Kamima is a surefire way to earn myself the hatred of otaku everywhere, but no matter, I'll endure their contempt if that's what it takes to make Lukako happy. So resolved, I strike out through the crowd towards our designated rendezvous point. Lukako, clearly overwhelmed by the sheer number of people, struggles to fall behind. I hear near the edge of the parking lot, I see the petite Mayuri wave her hands high. There aren't as many people here. Welcome to Kamima, Luki-chan! Yeah, it's my first time coming here, but it's amazing. Take it easy. Where's Daru? Daru-kun's in line for promo goods. He couldn't come. He said he'll maybe join us later if he survives the battle. Damn, that means he won't join us for at least another hour. Couldn't he forego the battle just this once? Lukako's eyes dart from place to place. She's clearly uncomfortable with the chaotic atmosphere. There's still some awkwardness between us after what happened yesterday. Even on the train ride, we barely spoke to each other. What's the point in being a couple if it turns out like this? It was easier to talk when we weren't supposed to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Lukako seemed to enjoy herself more too. Was it a mistake? I gotta just get my mind in the right order. I'm too mad. I'm too bisexual for this. I'm too mad. I just want to see Lukako happy. Boy or girl, I don't care. Was it a mistake to bring her to Kamima? Well, Lukako didn't refuse. Even when I told her we were going to Kamima, she just nodded obediently. Mayushi will show you around, okay? There's lots of people, so we gotta be careful. First, go to the cosplay area, then we'll go to inside. Mayuri's more cheerful than usual. She must be happy to have us here. Hey, is there anything you guys want to see? Lukako, is there anything you want to see? No. Lukako shakes her head. It's my first time, so if Akabe-san wants to see something, I'll go see it. I'm not particularly interested in anything. Lukako looks unhappy. Crap, I shouldn't have answered just like that. Hey, Luka-chan, if you come to the cosplay area, I'm sure you'll change your mind about cosplaying. Mayuri talks happily with Lukako. I'm glad I chose to rely on this ditz who can't read the mood. It's not embarrassing at all, see? Because everyone's having fun. Kayane-chan and Fubuki-chan are there wearing Mayushi's costumes. I'll introduce you, okay? You should come tomorrow too. I'll bring costumes for you and we can cosplay together. Code Geass. Zero sum. I think Okarin would be perfect as Zero Sum from Code Geass. You'll cosplay if Okarin does it with you, right? Look at Jack. You will, won't you? Mayushi thinks it's a great idea. Not a chance. Sorry. No way. Mayuri slumps her shoulders in disappointment. In the end, Lukako and I got fed up with the amount of people and left Ariake early. We took the direct shuttle bus to Akiba that only runs during Kamima, so it was so cramped inside I thought I was gonna die. By the time we get back to Akiba, Lukako and I are exhausted, my feet feel like blocks of lead, and I don't have the energy to even attempt conversation. The two of us schlepped back to the shrine without speaking a word, like Spanish monks under a vow of silence. Lukako doesn't raise a single complaint, but taking her to Kamima was obviously a mistake. Lukako's expression has been stiff ever since we met up with Mayuri. Maybe she's still traumatized by otaku. The first time I met Lukako, he was being harassed by otaku. Maybe they left a bad impression. We don't talk. We spent most of the day shoulder to shoulder with strangers. I can probably count on my fingers the words I said directly to Lukako today. When we arrive at the shrine, our time as a couple will end. So this is our last chance to talk as boyfriend and girlfriend. but I'm confused. What should I talk about? I tried thinking about things we have in common. The demon sword Samidare. The station is on my school of swordsmanship. But Kursu said to avoid Chernobyl topics, and the dating manual concurred. What else is there? It finally dawns on me. There's nothing else Lukako and I share. This is depressing. I don't like this. Silence dominates the shrine. This is sad. This is sad. I don't like this. The silence should be calming, but it's not. I've safely escorted Lukako home. Mayuri's death is just 3 hours away. The temporary relationship between me and Lukako ends here. Now I just need Lukako to give me her mother's pager number. However, is it really okay to let it end like this? In the end, what have I done for Lukako? I haven't done squat, have I? All I've done is hurt her. Suddenly, Lukako starts sobbing. She covers her mouth with both hands, but can't stop the tears pouring out from her eyes. Lukako! When I approach her, Lukako pulls back. Lukako wipes the corners of her eyes, but the tears keep flowing, forming a glistening line down each cheek. I'm speechless. I have no idea what to do. The girl is crying before my eyes. It's my duty as a man to comfort her. I know that, and yet no words come. I just stand there like a useless statue. This sucks! I don't like this! I don't like this one! This sucks! I don't like this! The cause of Lukako's tears is undoubtedly me. I didn't treat her right as my girlfriend, even if it was only a temporary arrangement. And now it ends with me watching as Lukako cries. Lukako... I'm the one who did this to her. I'm the cause of her grief. And yet... Thank you very much. She thanks me and bows her head. Eh? She lifts her head and smiles shyly through her tears. I was really happy that we could be together. That's a lie. I'm glad I fell in love with you. This sucks. I don't like this. This one's bad. I don't like this episode. This episode's bad. It has to be a lie. To my surprise, Lukako takes my hand in hers. Her hand is very warm and delicate. This is the first time I've touched her since we became a couple. And it will be the last. Lukako places a note in my hand, and then she pulls away. She bows her head again. Bye now. Lukako turns her back to me and then disappears into the shrine office. I look at the note. There's a number written there. Probably her mother's pager number. She kept her promise. But I didn't keep mine. I can't let it end like this. I run full speed back to the lab, ignoring Kursu's calls to stop. I slap on the headgear and leap to the past. Yeah, man, treat her better. This is... this is a very bad run. Legitimately angry. This is like the angriest the series has ever made me. You didn't even go back that many days. Go back the whole 4 days. Treat her better. I regain consciousness in front of Akihabara Station. Lukako is next to me. We're about to board the train for Kamima. Lukako looks a little anxious, but she doesn't raise a single complaint. The shuttle bus pulls up. The huge line of people begins to move. We can't go to Kamima like this. Shaking off with my timely-induced vertigo, I take Lukako by the hand. Come on. Once we get out of the line, I let go of Lukako's hand and start walking. Kami-san, the bus is here. We're not going to Kamima. Eh? This time, we're doing things my way. Okabe-san, where are we going? Okabe-san? I keep walking with Lukako's hand in mine, ignoring everything else. Lukako looks bewildered at first, but eventually she says no more and just starts following me with a sad expression. We arrive at Yanabayashi Shrine, a place devoid of visitors, where an aura of peace and dignity dominates, where the cries of cicadas resound. Lukako's home. Finally, I turn to face Lukako. Instead of letting go, I grasp her warm hand even tighter than before. Perhaps it's the heat, or perhaps it's our nervousness, but our hands are damp with sweat. But still, I don't let go. Lukako is hanging her head. She might cry at any moment. This means our relationship is over, doesn't it? Her lips tremble, her voice trembles. I summon my resolve and answer with a laugh. What are you talking about? Our couple phase isn't over yet. I strike a pose and mimic a line from a popular card battling anime. Until I witnessed Mayuri's death, this is how I acted all the time. Now it takes some effort, but I still have it in me. But... weren't you listening? This time we're doing things my way. Now, my disciple. Bring forth the demon sword Samidare. The wind blows. The trees growing over the main building rustles. The tree growing over the main building rustles its leaves in response. Lukiko looks at me blankly. Tears form in the corners of her eyes. What? Isn't it obvious? It's time to continue your training in the Senshin Zanma School of Swordsmanship. My training? Have you already forgotten what I taught you? No, but Oka... It's Koyoma. Eh? Have you forgotten my true name, Lukiko? I'm the insane mad scientist Koyoma. Swallowing my embarrassment, I strike another pose. I was so caught up in the question of your gender that I lost sight of our true relationship. But now I finally realized the truth. Our relationship was decided from the very beginning. Decided? How? I may be a man and you may be a woman, but our temporary relationship is a couple. I take a deep breath. I gently comb my fingers to Lukiko's hair. I twist my lips into a grin. Matters not. I am I. Lukiko is Lukiko. And Lukiko is my disciple. As I gently stroke her hair, Lukiko puts her warm hand on top of mine. The tears collected in the corners of her eyes suddenly fall. Yes, of course, Okabe. I mean, Koyoma-san is my master. Well said. Now, Lukiko, bring forth Samidare. At once. Just a moment. I'll be right back. Please stay here, okay? I'm not going anywhere, so hurry. Lukiko reluctantly lets go with my hands. Shyly turns away from me and heads into the shrine office. We spend 4 hours training, just like we used to. Practice swings with the demon sword, stories of the sword's history, lectures on the intricacies of Senshin Zanma swordsmanship, all fabricated from my Chunobyo's delusions. I talk. Lukiko, dressed now in her Miko robes, listens with rapt attention. Occasionally we take a break, sit on the shrine stairway and eat the sweet rice balls Lukiko's mother brings us. And that's how we spend an extraordinarily ordinary 4 hours. I think you should kiss, please. Alright, that's it for today. Lukiko lowers her stance and slowly sheaves the demon sword, Samidare. She looks so beautiful and majestic standing there in flowing white robes, sword shining in her hands. I find myself mesmerized once again. Lukiko's bows, snapping me out of it. Thank you. I think I got a little stronger. No need for humility. Today, you mastered one of the Senshin Zanma's style secrets. Type 32, Cherry Bomb. Don't get cocky if you are still weak. Yes, sir. I want to learn even more from you. The breeze feels nice after the sweat we worked up. We savor our comfortable fatigue as we drink a barley tea Lukiko's mother brought for us. I feel like it's just been a long time since you last taught me, Koyoma-san. For the past few days, my mind has been under the dread influence of the Frau Grimoire known as the Manual. But I've finally recovered. But I fully recovered. Do not worry. Thank goodness you're back to your old self. Lukiko answers happily, and then her expression turns serious as if she's made up her mind about something. Yesterday, you asked if I had any memories from when I was a guy. Oh, yeah. Lukiko looks away. I see her hands fidgeting in her lap. Finally, with trembling lips, she speaks. I do remember. No surprise. I expected she'd remembered after what I experienced with Fyrus. I remember, or actually, how should I say it? It's a very transient feeling. Transient? I can't clearly remember it, but at the bottom of the sea of memories, well, in my head, Then Lukiko starts pawing at the air above and to the right of her head. It feels like it's around here somewhere. I don't really get it. Anyway, you remember? Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Lukiko nods. I'm sorry I lied yesterday. Don't worry about it. You should be proud to have fooled the great Hoyon Koyoma. So, because I remembered, I knew Mom's pager number without having to ask. She takes out a piece of paper upon which is written the number. I was going to give you this no matter how things turned out today. And one more thing. One more thing? I don't know if it's related to my memories, but it's about that old computer. Now that I didn't expect. The IBM 5100? Yes, I think so. True, Lukiko did seem like she knew something about the IBM 5100. Plus, Luca's dad confirmed that it was here at the shrine. And then, one day, it suddenly disappeared. Does Lukiko know where it is now? If that's true, Lukiko, then you might have to turn back into a guy. But Lukiko faintly shakes her head. I don't think it's that easy. But why not? Lukiko grips my hand. Please, come with me, I'll show you. She looks into my eyes. Lukiko is no longer crying. In the fading sunlight, her eyes shine with firm resolve. She brings me to Daiburu. I look up at the huge, towering building. The IBM 5100 is here? Not there. Lukiko faces away from Daiburu and points. to a coin locker tucked into a narrow alley. It happened last year, just before New Year's. Lukiko walks up to the coin locker as she talks. The computer was at our shrine until then. Until New Year's? That's a contradiction. It was only 2 weeks ago that I found the IBM 5100 at Yanabayashi's shrine, which means I really haven't returned to the original world line. It's all my fault. I was helping you out at the shrine, sweeping the storehouse. When I broke it by accident. You broke it? Lukiko nods. But I thought Dad would get mad at me if he found out, so I brought it here and hid it in the coin locker. It must have been tough bringing it all the way out here. That thing weighs a ton. I used a push cart from home. It broke too. Even so, it must have been hard to get here with just a push cart. Maybe she was running on adrenaline. When I heard Koyama-san was searching for it, I was really surprised. I know I should have told you the truth, but I thought you'd hate me for it, and I couldn't say anything. Nonsense, I wouldn't hate you for that. No matter what, you're still my disciple. I know. Lukiko takes the locker key out of her pocket. It's already been more than half a year, so the management probably took it away. Half a year? I guess it's hopeless then. This locker charges 2,000 yen a day. 200. Normally, if a coin locker goes unpaid for more than a few days, the management retrieves the contents. And if the owner doesn't claim it within a month, it's usually thrown away. Meaning the IBM 5100 is already... Lukiko goes to a large locker at the end of the row, inserts a key and tries the lock. It's not locked. I guess that settles it. Sure enough, Lukiko opens the door to reveal an empty locker. I'm sorry. Either way, it doesn't matter. There's no point in retrieving a broken IBM 5100. But I don't tell her that. It's not your fault. I'm the one who messed with the timeline, everything- I'm the one who messes with the timeline. Everything that happens is my fault. Koyama-san. That's why I must bear the burden. Mayuri's plan, Suzuha's pain, Fayusa's pain, and now Lukiko's pain. Something occurs to me. What if I send an email telling Lukiko not to sweep the storehouse? How would that change the world line? Would the IBM 5100 stay at Yanabayashi's shrine, ready for me to retrieve in August as planned? Part of me wants to try sending that email. If it works, Lukiko could stay a girl. No, I mustn't give in to the temptation. You should! You really should! This is very simple! Just let her be a girl! My goal is to restore the world line, not to warp it further. Fix the past to save Mayuri. That is my mission. This is unfortunate. I don't like this anymore. There's something strange about my memories. Strange? How? Inside my mind, there are two memories about that old computer mixed together. The first is the memory of me breaking it, the other has no memory of it at all. The male me didn't break the computer, he swept the main shrine instead of the storehouse. So Lukiko swept the storehouse because she became a girl. Because she swept the storehouse, she broke the IBM 5100 and deposited it into this coin locker. As a result, the IBM 5100 will never reach me. Is this the butterfly effect? So there's no choice, I have to go back to being a guy. There's no longer any doubt in her eyes. There's no choice. She knows it as well as I. This is unfortunate. We return empty-handed to Yanabayashi's shrine, which is dyed scarlet by the setting sun. Lukiko lets go of my hand after we arrive. We spent the whole walk hand in hand. Then she turns to me. So, this is goodbye. Yeah. I'm really happy that I could train with you again. She smiles shyly again, but her cheeks are dyed pink. I can tell she's desperately holding back her tears, but those tears hold a different meaning than the ones I saw before I time-leaped. At least I'd like to think so. I didn't really do anything boyfriend-like for you, did I? That doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right. I'm sincerely relieved, because Lukiko smiled for me. Please, save Mayuri-chan. Mayuri-chan is really important to me. Lukiko. Please go already. If you don't, I might cry. So, please, thank you for everything. This is when I use that phrase, right? El-sai Kongali. It's Kongru. I find myself smiling. Lukiko forces a smile too. El-sai Kongru. She bows deeply. She doesn't raise her head. A sign for me to go already. She deserved a hug. I turn back to the archway at the shrine's entrance. My feet are heavy. They won't advance. I stop in front of the stairs. Then I take out my phone. Akabe, Mayuri called. She was mad. You stood her up on your promise to go to Kamima. Christina, I need you to enter a number into the phone we have named to change. What? Explain yourself. Please just do it. I'm sending a D-mail. I hear a sigh on the other end of the phone. The number is... I tell her Lukiko's mother's pager's number, with another string of numbers attached. *2*292983183183129298318312929. Meat, meat, veg, veg, meat, meat, veg, veg. When she sees this, Lukako's mother will probably think it's a prank, and then she'll assume the D-mail we sent earlier was also a prank. If that still doesn't change the world line, we can just try something else. Pages in 1992 didn't display the sender's number. Lukako's mother won't know who sent it. I already told Kurisu the timer setting. Everything's ready. I hang up once I confirm that the 42-inch CRT is on. Now I just need to call the phone wave name subject to change. Then the world line will change. Lukako will probably turn back into a guy. Her memories will disappear. Mayuri won't die today. However, I hesitate to open my address book. The thoughts turn to Lukako, who is probably still watching me from behind. If I turn around, what will I see on her face? I want to check, but I don't think she'd want that. Lukako finally smiled at me today, but I still have lingering reservations inside. This time I'm about to sacrifice Lukako's memories. The memories of the 17 years she lived as a girl on this world line. The memories of her parents who rejoiced when their daughter was born. I'm about to erase all of that. But if I don't, I'll be rejecting the 17 years Lukako lived as a guy. I'll be rejecting the memories of his parents, who rejoiced when their son was born. Even so, is it okay to turn Lukako back into a guy? I'm lost and I cannot take another step. I've sacrificed the memories of 2 friends already. The sight of their tears is burned into my mind. Something soft presses against my back. Lukako has embraced me from behind. I hear faint sobbing. What expression is she making now? Even without looking, I can tell. I really don't want to change back. Her words are like needles stabbing into my heart. Because if I change back into a guy, I'll have to hide my feelings for you. It would be wrong for me to love you if I'm a guy. This sucks. I don't like this. I have nothing against homosexuals, but unfortunately, I am heterosexual. I won't be able to answer Lukako's feelings if he's a guy. My memories of today will vanish too, won't they? That we held hands and walked together. That we trained together after such a long time. That I'm touching Okabe-san's body right now. I don't want to forget. I don't. Please, because I love you. I love you, Okabe-san. I want to save Mayuri-chan too, and I understand there's no other way, but it still hurts. At the very least, I want to keep my memories of today. If I'd known it would hurt this much, I never would have wished to become a girl in the first place. Lukako. I'm sorry, I know that doesn't matter to you, right? Even as a guy, you're still Lukako to me. That won't change. Yes, it makes me happy to hear you say that. Okabe-san, please send the email. Please, send it quickly. If you'll let me feel your warmth any longer, I might say even worse things. I can't hold back my feelings anymore. Lukako, you should kiss. Is this really okay? You should just kiss her. Okabe-san, please. I'm about to sacrifice someone again. Is it my place to make that decision? My fingers tremble around my phone. But Lukako embraces those trembling fingers with her own. Will you remember me? This sucks. I don't wanna, but I'll get like a bad ending if I do this. This sucks, dick. Yes. With one call to the phone wave name subject to change, I can send the message to Luca's mother's pager. Will you remember me as a girl? I don't want to do this. I don't want to go on another like bad ending route. But I might. I don't want to. If I just don't call, do you think I don't press the thing? Okay, wait. Let's save right here. We're not gonna end this yet, but I'm gonna see what happens if I just don't call. That's a girl? Yes. If I make the call. Will you remember these 4 short days we were together? Yes. No, I can't do it. Kabe-san, why? I can't do it anymore. I can't sacrifice anyone else's memories. I've already trampled on Susaha and Ferris' memories. I turned a blind eye to their suffering, all the while telling myself it was to save Mayuri. I justified it by telling myself I would carry their burdens, but that was just a convenient excuse. I don't have the right. I fall to my knees, unable to stand. The only way to save Mayuri is to send this D-mail. There's no alternative. Even so, I don't have the right to erase Lukako's entire life as a girl. I can't do such an arrogant thing. More than anything, I don't want to lose the Lukuko beside me right now. Kabe-san. Mayuri can't be saved. Mayuri's death is fate. No matter how many world lines I cross, convergence will occur. Mayuri will die, no matter what. I'm tired of it all. Mayuri, I'm sorry. My ego wasn't strong enough to sacrifice everything for your sake. Can we just get an ending right now? The first day of Kamima has ended. A few otaku warriors linger to check their spoils before beginning the odyssey home. Otherwise, Ariake is silent and still, as if the crowd Lukuko and I saw this afternoon was a lie. Kamima runs for 3 days straight, but it already feels like the end of a festival. Of course, this silence is just for tonight. Tomorrow people will come to fill the spacious promenade once again. My hand clutches at my chest. Mayuri will die in less than an hour. I'm not ready. Even so, I want to be with her in her final moments. I won't let her leave this world alone. That's why I came here right after leaving the shrine. She should still be in Ariake somewhere. I contacted both Mayuri and Daru by mail. If they're still in Ariake, they should be here any minute now. My phone rings. Speak of the devil. However, the name of this place isn't the one I was expecting. Please tell me, is this really okay? Lukuko. She doesn't have to say it. I know exactly what she means. There's only one thing I can say. Everything will be fine. This is my choice. You don't have to worry about a thing. I know that mail won't be enough to stop Lukuko from blaming herself, but I have to send it all the same, if only to strengthen my own resolve. Memories from this morning rise unbidden. Mayuri stopped by the lab on the way to Kamima. I was dozing on the couch. Suddenly the darkness was burned away by light. Squinting against the fluorescent radiance, I raised my head to see who had entered. Sorry, Ocarina, did I wake you up? Mayuri was there, tugging a suitcase. No, I wasn't really asleep. I'd been up all night, trying to solve the problem on my last date with Lukuko. You're pretty early, Mayuri. Actually, Mayuchi's here to pick up her costumes. And breakfast. She took a sandwich and some potato salad from her convenience store bag. Are you going to Kamimo now? Yeah, Daru-kun already left on the first bus. Oh. Hey, Ocarina, where'd you go with Luka-chan yesterday? Did you have a fun date? You know, Luka-chan hasn't replied to my mail since yesterday. You emailed Lukuko? Yeah, Mayuchi's a little worried, you know. The day before, Lukuko burst into tears barely 5 minutes after we met up, then we parted ways. That's why I couldn't give Mayuri an answer. Did you make Luka-chan cry again? That would make Mayushi sad. Sad? Sad! Luka-chan is Mayushi's friend! It was Mayuri's last day alive, and also Lukuko's last day together with me. I asked myself, could I really let it end with both of them sad? Let it end? What right did I have to decide when it ends? My arrogance made me want to vomit. And then, as if to rely on Mayuri, I began to tell her my new plan. Are you going to be at Kamima all day? Eh? Yeah, why? Is it okay if I bring Lukuko? Really? Of course it's okay! Mayuri smiled happily, took some milk out of the refrigerator, washed down the sandwich, and began to enjoy her breakfast. You tried asking Lukuko to cosplay, right? How'd it go? Well, I couldn't convince her. I don't want to force her, you know. That would make her hate cosplay. So basically, she gave up. But you know, it might be a good idea to bring Luka-chan to Kamima. You think maybe if she saw other cosplayers having fun, Luka-chan might want to try it too? Do you think we could get her to cosplay at the next Kamima? I wonder. That would be nice. Hey, will you really bring Luka-chan over today? Yeah. Will you come too and look at the costumes Mayushi made? Yes, I will. Yay, that would make me really happy. Mayuri packed her costumes into the suitcase. Well, gotta get going. Be sure to come, okay? I'll be waiting. I'll show you all the best stuff so you want to come tomorrow too. I could hear my teeth grinding. I knew that whether Mayuri would get to see tomorrow depended entirely on my actions. If this day had gone as planned, my status as Lukuko's temporary boyfriend would have come to a close. Lukuko would have gone back to being a guy. Mayuri would survive the night. She would go to Kamima tomorrow without a care in the world. Ocarina, something wrong? Mayuri looked at me quizzically. She's always been sensitive to changes in my demeanor, so I put on a smile and responded as Hoyo and Koyoma. Nothing's wrong, just thinking of ways to defeat the organization. Let's meet in Ariake in the afternoon. Okay, I'll be waiting. Mayuri didn't leave right away. She just stood there in front of the door, looking at me. Mayuri's always here for you to talk when you need her, okay? Mayuri. I'm off. Mayuri cheerfully flew out the door, suitcase in hand, like the White Rabbit in Wonderland. The sound of her footsteps gradually faded away. Now alone, I took a deep breath. The time limit was 13 hours after that point in time. In those 13 hours, I was to return Lukako to manhood. I thought I had to change her back. But now... Ocarine? A voice calls me back to the present. There's Mayuri, dragging her suitcase. Dar wasn't with her. She's probably upset. After all, I completely stood her up on the promise we made this morning. You came, but you're late. Mayuri was waiting. I was really lonely. Sorry. I can't look Mayuri in the eye. As Mayuri was waiting in vain, I was making the worst possible decision for her. I chose to not turn Lukako back. I chose to not save Mayuri. No, let's not beat around the bush. I chose to let her die. It's not that I don't want to save her, I do. But I can't bring myself to make the necessary sacrifice. Where's Luka-chan? She's not coming. Did you make her cry again? No. My thoughts are a jumble. Her every word seems an accusation, of course. But I know that's not her intent. Even if she knew what I had done, this innocent child friend of mine doesn't have a bitter tone in her body. Bone. Blah, blah, blah. It's my guilty conscience, changing Mayuri's words to swords stabbing straight through my heart. Or the heart. But even so, I can no longer change the past. I don't want to change it. So I have no other choice. No other choice but to accept the death this world so desires. If I were a normal man, I would have to accept Mayuri's death whether I liked it or not. I wouldn't have been able to try to avert it. But by chance I acquired the power of a god. It allowed me to try again and again. If anything, I should be grateful for the opportunity I was given. Ocarine! I can't let Mayuri sense my unease. She can always tell when there's something bothering me. 10 minutes left. I want her to spend them happy and carefree. That's the very least I can do for her. So I put on the mask of Boyan Kiyoma, just as I did for Lukako. Mwahaha! Fret not, Mayuri. Things between me and Lukako are absolutely marvelous. That Miko and I are tied by a strong bond. That's right, Lukako and I are connected by fate, whether we like it or not. Today I, the genius with my IQ of 170, have returned the smile to Lukako's face. She even said so herself, that it was fun to be with me in our pursuit for knowledge. As soon as those words leave my lips, I realized my mistake. That makes it sound like I broke my promise to Mayuri just so I could give Lukako a fun time, doesn't it? Well, I suppose that is what happened. But Mayuri didn't need to know that. Really? That's great! But Mayuri, innocent as she is, just gives me a happy, relieved smile. So there's no reason for Ocarine and Luka-chan to break up, right? Right, we won't break up. Actually, our temporary relationship has already ended. That was our agreement. But I don't think I need to tell Mayuri that. Great, then Mayuri can concentrate on the coming one without any worries! Are you gonna participate tomorrow, too? Yep, it lasts 3 whole days! I shouldn't have asked. I fight the urge to check my phone. Last time I checked it was about 7 PM. I don't have the guts to check again. I don't want to watch the seconds tick down to Mayuri's death. Dark-kun's late. I called him just now and he said he was still close by. We don't really have to wait for him. Let's wait a little bit longer. If that's what Mayuri wants, then I won't deny her. Besides, I don't want Mayuri's last moments to be on a crowded train or bus, but rather somewhere where she can see the stars. Not that I have any right to choose her place of death. Hey, do you think we could convince Luka-chan to cosplay somehow? How should we persuade her, though? Mayuri's mood is completely healed. Why is she so happy? Did she hear something pleasing somewhere in this conversation? Was it knowing that things are going well between me and Lukako? Or was it that I kept my promise to come here after all? I don't know, but seeing Mayuri's happy smile makes my heart ache. I think Luka-chan would be an absolutely perfect Kiari-chan cosplay. Luka-chan's so cute, she makes Mayuri's heart throb, you know. I want to spread Luka-chan's cuteness to people all over the world, don't you, Ocarine? Oh, maybe you plan to keep Luka-chan all to yourself, but you know, you shouldn't monopolize her. Even Mayushi wants to Q with Luka-chan. I don't mind. It's not like I can keep her all to myself. Yay! Anyway, there's one more reason I want to get Luka-chan to cosplay. Mayuri's awfully obsessed with Lukako today. Come to think of it, Mayuri has done nothing but talk about Lukako for these past 4 days, ever since Lukako and I started dating. Luka-chan's usually a quiet girl, right? She almost never says what she thinks. When you cosplay, you become someone other than yourself. That's why I think that if Luka-chan cosplays once, she'll definitely find a new Luka-chan, even if it's embarrassing at first. And when that happens, she'll become more assertive than before, and maybe even dominate you, Ocarine. Alright, calm down. She really does care for Lukako. And yet, I know that all her hopes and dreams are in vain. Suddenly, Mayuri falls silent. She looks up and raises one hand high above her head, as if to catch the stars twinkling in the night sky. Stardust handshake. Can you see the stars? Yeah! You can see the stars more clearly in Ariake than in Akiba. If only the stars would answer her call. Only she could melt into their embrace. What salvation that would be. In the past, when she has reached for the sky, I have always pulled her back down to earth, as if to keep her from floating away. But today I don't dare. What does Mayuri think about when she reaches for the starry sky? I've never asked her. Perhaps now is the time. Hey, Mayuri. Okarine, Mayushi! Daru runs up to us, calling our names. Daru-kun, you're late! Ooh, my bad, man. It took forever to check my spoils. Daru's backpack is filled to the brim. He's also carrying 5 paper bags illustrated with moe drawings. Such zeal. Okay, let's go! Mayuri gets up to lead the way, and we start heading towards the train station. The direct shuttle bus to Akiba has already ended its service. It was so hot today, I thought I was gonna die. How was the cosplay? The breeze felt great! Maybe you should cosplay next time. And when did you get here, Kareem? Buy anything? No. Huh? Why so grim? You have a girlfriend like one of those filthy normals now. You got no right to be depressed. Eh. Kareem, there's something wrong! Mayuri's voice is abruptly cut short. Her suitcase falls to the ground with a thud. It's time. Mayuri presses her hands to the center of her chest. Her face contorts in pain. I see it happen in slow motion, frame by frame. Slowly, slowly, she starts to fall. It's so sudden. So sudden. And so I fail to catch her in time. Mayuri falls to the ground, motionless. Mayushi? I can't move. I can't breathe. Strangely, I feel no sorrow. All I feel is guilt. I knew this would happen. I could have prevented it. The one who killed Mayuri is me. Mayushi, what's wrong? Daru tosses bags away and runs to Mayuri's side. He lifts her and slaps her cheeks a bit. I keep watching as if it were merely a bystander. She's not breathing. What is this? What the hell is this? Okarine, there's something wrong with Mayushi. She's dead. What could be the cause? A heart attack? She wasn't killed this time, that's a relief. At least Mayuri died in one piece. Dead? No way, we were just talking. Hey, Mayushi, wake up. Where's the camera? We're on candid camera, right? Daru. I put my hand on Daru's shoulder to calm him down. Mayuri's dead. Daru turns pale. His lips tremble as he looks at Mayuri's face in disbelief. Let's call an ambulance. Why'd this happen? How could you be so calm? She's dead. She's never coming back. Don't you get it, Okarine? I get it. No, you don't. She's not breathing, see? I stood by and let her die. What? I kneel beside Mayuri. I couldn't save you, Mayuri. I reach out to Mayuri's motionless body. No, I chose not to save you. I embrace her tightly. I abandon you, Mayuri. I look up to the starry sky, just as Mayuri always did. The tears don't come. Maybe I've gotten used to it. Or maybe it's because I'm not worthy to mourn her. What fills my heart is emptiness. I'm leaning against the wall, hugging both knees. I don't remember how long I've been here. How much time has passed since Mayuri's death? I didn't go to the vigil or to the funeral. How could I when I'm the one who killed her? I don't want to see anything or anyone. Even breathing is hard now. And yet I have no choice but to face this emptiness, this heart-rending guilt, and accept what I've done. This is my duty now. Someone pulls the curtain open. Yeah, it's you. Light shines in from the lounge. A girl is standing there, silhouetted against the light. As soon as I realize who it is, I turn away and prepare to block out the noise. Okabe, it's been 3 days. Will you at least eat something? You knew, didn't you? You knew that Mayuri would die. Why don't you time leap? I was sure that you would do anything to save Mayuri, even use a time leap machine. What happened to your plan to change Urushibaru-san's gender and take back the Ivan 5100? You were so set on saving Mayuri. What are you still doing here? Wait, did you already send the D-mail? Did you already change world lines? If so, and you're just a remnant of Okabe left behind, then that means world lines are a parallel, and this line is doomed to continue without Mayuri. I didn't send the D-mail. My voice is hoarse, perhaps because I haven't spoken in 3 days. What do you mean? I couldn't change Lukako back into a guy. Instead, I chose to accept fate. No, that makes it sound like I wasn't responsible. I stood by and let Mayuri die. I hear Kurusu gasp. Why did I confess? It's not something I should confess so easily. It's like admitting to murder. It should have been a secret between Lukako and me. And yet... Do I want to be blamed? Would that make me feel better? It hurts to live with this bottled up guilt, and at this point, I'd welcome condemnation. Kurusu isn't one to mince words. I'm sure she'll tell me exactly what a worthless human being I am. However, will you eat? Kurusu betrays my expectations. I can make cup noodles if you like, or should I go get something? Say something. I killed Mayuri. Why won't you blame me? I suppose I could, but why? It looks like you've already blamed yourself enough. Maybe we just don't have the right to change the past after all. Besides, no one can blame you. You've been fighting alone this whole time, one man disconnected from causality. No one else can understand your pain. No one else can understand the meaning of your choice. There's no way I can blame you, when I haven't time leaped even once. How can you be so understanding? I clutch my knees. I'm not. When you chose to save Mayuri with the time leap machine, you must have known that no one would ever understand. So accept what you've done. Do that, and I'll never forget the meaning of your choice. So in other words, she's telling me to suffer on my own. What a cruel woman. However, you should also take responsibility for the girl you did save. Mayuri is dead and sad. No, sad doesn't even begin to describe it, but Mayuri is gone. You couldn't change convergence, you couldn't defy fate. But she is still alive thanks to you. She's still alive as a girl. And I think she's suffering alone, just like you. Aren't you the only one who can understand her suffering? You're her accomplice, remember? Her accomplice. I knew you would pull no punches, Makase Kurusu. Lukako's image floats through my mind. She used to be a guy, but now she's a girl, and she'll live as a girl from now on. I'm the one who chose that future for Lukako. When I imagine her frail smile, I feel like spring has come to thaw the frozen soil of my heart. I can't bear to lose Lukako too. In that case, I know what I must do. Thank you, Kurusu. I'm glad I told you. As I enter the courtyard, I can almost feel the heat slowly drain away. Beside the main building stands a large tree. Its branches, coated with vibrant leaves, sway in the gentle breeze. The shrine is cooler than the streets of Akihabara proper. Maybe it's because Kanda River is so close. As usual, the shrine is empty. I find myself standing before the offering box, gazing into the inner sanctum. I wonder if Lukako's home. Her family should be here too. How should I call for her? Just then the wind suddenly lets up, and the sound of rustling trees stops for a bit. In the sounds I hear someone sobbing. It sounds like it's coming from behind the main building. I slowly head towards the sound. Lukako is there, sitting on the grass, hugging her knees, and she cries. Samidare is in her hands. Lukako. Okabe-san. Lukako looks at me with wet eyes, but immediately afterwards she buries her face into her knees. Then her shoulders start shaking once more. Yesterday, I went to Mayuri-chan's funeral. Everyone cried. I didn't know Mayuri-chan was loved by so many people. Of course I love Mayuri-chan too. I'm not really good with people, but she was always so nice to me. She was my best friend. I lost the words I was about to say. All I can do is sit silently next to Lukako. Why, Okabe-san? Why are we still alive? ... Mayuri-chan is dead, but I'm still a girl. Now she remembers being a guy. Lukako is beginning to have gender identity issues. I have no idea how that feels. Just as Kurusu said, Lukako is disconnected from causality too. It just feels wrong for me to keep living like this. It's not wrong. I try to cheer her up with those meaningless words, but Lukako shakes her head in denial. Is there a way to save Mayuri-chan? No. That can't be. Still crying, Lukako stands and pleads with me. Let's keep thinking. I'll do anything to save Mayuri-chan. I heard from Mayuri-chan before that you made a device for traveling back in time. Is she talking about the time leap machine? If we use that... We can't. If we go back in time, I'm sure we'll find a way. There's no way. I make that firm declaration with hung head and clenched fists. It may be cruel, but all we can do is accept Mayuri's death and keep on living. You can't give up. Why are you giving up? Aren't you sad at all that Mayuri-chan died? There's no way to save her. No, I don't want Mayuri-chan to die. Lukako. I grab her shoulders and look straight into her eyes. Did you think it was easy for me to give up? Kabe-san. She was my precious childhood friend. I would have done anything to save her. I tried to find a way. I tried everything I could think of. Do you know how many times I've gone back? But nothing worked. The universe wants her dead. No matter how I try to avoid it, fate snatches Mayuri away. I sacrificed other people's memories and dreams, all to save Mayuri. I didn't care who I hurt, as long as I could save her. But I can't do it anymore. There's nothing I can do. No, there is something I can do. There are still things I can do to save Mayuri. But I chose none of them. Theoretically, it's not impossible, but it is impossible for me. I'm sorry. I didn't stop to think about your feelings. ... But it's not impossible, is it? There's still one more way, Wes. If you turn me back into a guy... I can't do that. There's no meaning to our choice if we do that. I chose Lukako over Mayuri. Ultimately, that's all there is to it. Please, Okabe-san, I don't want to be a girl so badly that I'd sacrifice Mayuri-chan. Please save Mayuri-chan. I won't turn you back into a guy. Why? Why won't you? That's what I chose. I can't keep on hurting people to feed my ego. Besides, even if we go back to the original world line, there's no guarantee we'll avoid Mayuri's death. I won't sacrifice anyone's memories. I won't sacrifice your memories for a small chance like that. It's over. But, Okabe-san, this is unforgivable. I don't deserve to live like this. How can I go on, knowing that me being a girl contributed to Mayuri's death? That's too heavy a burden for me to bear. Why? Why didn't you send that mail to my mom's page for 18 years ago? Why didn't you choose Mayuri-chan over me? You have nothing to be ashamed of. It was my choice. I killed Mayuri. The guilt is mine. I'm the one with the power of a god. I am the one who chose Mayuri's fate. Therefore, I am the one who must bear the responsibility. Besides, I want you to be happy. Happy? How can I possibly be happy? When Mayuri died because of me. It wasn't because of you. Please, never say it again. You may be sad now, but I want you to keep going forward and live long enough for Mayuri too. No, I don't want that. Lukako clings to my chest. She stares into my eyes without wiping away her tears. In that case, I want to help bear your burden together. Bear it together? Don't be ridiculous. I'm a man disconnected from causality. I chose to stand by and let Mayuri die. Then I'll disconnect myself from causality too. I regained my memories of being a guy, so doesn't that mean I'm already disconnected? I also know that I'm only a girl because Mayuri paid for it with her life. We're accomplices. Kurusu said the same thing. We're accomplices, Lukako and I. Sadness, this guilt. I want us both to embrace them so we don't forget. We're disconnected from causality. Nobody else can understand us. I know. That's why I understand. I embrace Lukako strongly. Let's bear our burden together. Let's live with these memories together. Can I stay by your side forever? I love you. I know I'm betraying Mayuri-chan, but I want to be with you forever. Of course. We both bear the same burden. We'll accept Mayuri's death, yet still live on, shoulder to shoulder. Afterwards, we pass the time sitting in silence until the sky turns the color of dusk. Lukako rests her head on my shoulder. I embrace her and feel her breathing next to me. We gaze silently at the sky. And in our hearts, we pray for Mayuri's happiness in the afterlife. I'm sorry, Mayuri. I'm sorry. Hey, Okabe-san. Lukako raises her head and breaks the silence. I can see firm resolve in her expression. There's one thing I should have done for Mayuri-chan, but didn't. And because I didn't, I made her sad. What was it? Cosplay. Oh, that. These last few weeks, Mayuri was constantly asking Lukako to wear the costume she made for her. But Lukako was too embarrassed to try. I remember Mayuri on the day she died. I think Lukako-chan would be an absolutely perfect Kiriyari-chan cosplayer. Sorry. Lukako-chan's so cute. She makes Mayuri's heart throb, you know. Lukako-chan's usually a very obedient girl, you know. She rarely speaks her mind. When you cosplay, you become another you. That's why I think that if Lukako-chan cosplays once, she'll definitely find a new Lukako-chan, even if it's embarrassing at first. And when that happens, she'll become more assertive than before, and maybe even dominate you, Ocarine. Ha. Even on that day, Mayuri only talked about Lukako. Even though I stood her up on my promise to bring Lukako to Kamima, and made her lonely. Mayuri wanted Lukako to cosplay from the bottom of her heart. Can your time machine take me back to that day? You mean you want to go back? Lukako nods firmly. Are you serious? Nobody's used a time machine except me. It's never failed so far, but if something does happen, it might not even be reversible. Zen's test subjects turned into jellymen. Something like that could happen to her, or she could lose her memory of it like Suzuha did. It's too dangerous. So far, I'm the one who's used it. Please. At the very least, I want to see Mayuri-chan off with a smile. Because I wasn't able to do anything for her. But I thought you couldn't handle all the otaku. I'm a bit scared, but this is something I have to do. Besides, I want to truly be the same as you, Okabe-san. If I use that device, I'll be completely disconnected from causality, won't I? And then, I could feel what you feel. So please. Her innocent feelings warm my heart. Lukako truly cares for me and Mayuri. In the end, I have to grant her wish. When we get back to the lab, no one is there. Just a few days ago, Mayuri, Kurisu, and Daru and I were laughing here together. With Mayuri gone, nothing seems to remain from those days but dreams. The lab feels truly empty. But I hide those feelings and lead Lukako to the development room. Luckily, the 42-inch CRT is turned on downstairs, so we can start the time leap when ready. What time will you jump to? The morning of that day. If I jump to the day before, I don't think I'll be mentally stable enough to accept it as reality. That's why. So she's choosing the morning of that fateful day, so she can cosplay with a smile. But to jump to that day would take at least 3 consecutive leaps. Will she be able to get all the way to the 15th? But despite my worries, Lukako remains undaunted. Once you've leaped safely, get in touch with me. I'm sure I'll help you get to Mayuri. Okay. I covered Lukako's head with the time leap machine's headgear. Her body is clearly shaking. But that's understandable, I guess. Even I'm starting to get tense. My heart feels like it's about to explode. This is the first time leap machine experiment with a subject other than me. I can't stop thinking about the worst case scenario. Don't worry, your brain will hurt a bit, but the pain will go away soon. Okay. You must not get distracted once you reach the other side. Calm down and try to grasp your surroundings. It'll be okay. I'm with you. I gently caress Lukako's cheek. She responds with a small sigh of relief. I'm going. I nod and hide the shaking of my fingertips as I set the microwave timer. I'll be sure to come back. Yeah, I'll be waiting. I smile at Lukako. Immediately afterwards, the discharge fills the room. I open my eyes wide in wonder as Lukako's body begins to shine. The building shakes violently. The smell of ozone fills the air. The light is blinding. I can hardly keep my eyes open. Okabe-san! Lukako's cry is suddenly cut short. A shock ripples through my body like it always does right after time leaping. What the? This time I wasn't the one who leaped. But nevertheless, I teleported from the lab to Yanabayashi's shrine. Did the world line change? No, reading standard didn't activate, so I don't think it did. Then why? Was it because of Lukako's changes to the past? I look to the side and there I see Lukako. She gets up and smiles when she notices my gaze. Want to see the pictures? Pictures? What's this about pictures? It worked, I did it. Don't you remember? You suddenly started acting different just now. Right after you leaped into the past, I found myself standing here. Did you go to Kamima? Lukako once again bursts into tears. Then she slowly nods. She takes out a few pictures and hands them to me. Mayuri-chan was so happy. I look at the first picture handed to me. I gasp in surprise when I see what's on it. It looks like we really got carried away. I realize that I'm crying. Oh. In the picture, Mayuri is smiling. And we're smiling with her. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, we're just gonna skip this. Oh, we can't. Oh, I guess it is a new song, probably. Is it a new song? I don't know. I don't know. So, that was... I mean, at least I saw that one coming. I wonder if I can do one with Ferris, too. I think Ferris just, like, made me do it. I couldn't cancel that one. So I don't know if Ferris has an ending, either. I guess we'll see once I get to, I don't know, the end of the game. I think my plan here is if I get to, like, the true end... quotation marks, then instead of releasing that video, I'll actually do a cut, and I'll instead record me doing the other ends before it, so that, you know, it'll be a better experience. But, I mean, that's probably gonna be at many episodes from now. I wanted to make this one not as long, but it looks like I went 2 hours anyway. I kinda hope these aren't in order, and that means I'll have to go back way farther in time. So we'll check what ending I get, and where it appears in the little list. But it'll probably appear in the 5th slot, or the 6th slot, or whatever. Science Adventure Team, Science Adventure Team, yes, Nitro Plus, and all that. Haha, fun. So yeah, we'll see. What do we get? Oh. Okay. I cool. Link of Corruption and Rebirth completed. Alright. Let's see. So that goes into that slot? Oh no. That went into that slot. Okay. So these aren't in order of when they were doing things. I mean, I assume the last one in the bottom right is probably going to be for... Well, actually, maybe the top left one would be... I could say... I don't actually know. So, okay, that one... I thought it was going to go into the bottom right picture, or maybe the bottom left, like it would be in order. And so the bottom right would be, like, the last ending. But this is actually nice, so... We're there. So we've got 2 out of 6 endings. Let's go, pick out the tips from here. Hater. Sex. Astounding. Let me see, that's almost all the things, isn't it? Yeah, we're missing 7. 7 tips. The CG library should be Lukako's over here. Yeah. And then, yeah. So that's how it works, yeah. So, what I was saying earlier is, so we're missing... I guess the rest of the Mayuri ones. Probably... These are the rest of the Kurisu ones, and then Mayuri... Well, these go in chronological order, so I guess these are gonna be 2 Kurisu ones. Then yeah, we have the rest of the Mayuji ones. I guess I'm missing 2 Ferris ones. Would that be for the 2 endings? Would that be for like an ending that comes after this one? 2 more CGs? I don't know, actually. Point is, let's load that, back. Okay. No. I'm gonna end it off on that last line. One second. As girl, yes. Yes. Okay. Lukaku places your finger on the top of mine. On top of the send button. Thank you, Okabe-san. Farewell, my love. This one's sad. Alright. Oh, wow, 52.52. That's good. So we went up 0.3. And then, of course, that'll be the end of chapter 8. So, that was sad. We're probably missing an ending from before Suzuha's ending. Maybe, or maybe not, actually. I mean, we did... Ferris had that one, but I don't know. It didn't look like there was like an ending I could get with Ferris there. To let her be with her dad, but that feels like the kind of thing it would be. So maybe I'll have to go back and find that one, or get that one, right before we get to the final ending of the final game, or whatever. Or the final game, I mean. But, let's see. That was sad. This one made me sad, but I think it's just because I've, you know, personally I've struggled with a lot of gender identity stuff, and, like, the kind of, you know, sadness that comes with that. I mean, I'm fine, I think. I mean, maybe one day, but I don't know if I'd ever fully go through with it. But it's definitely sad, just because I know a lot of people who are trans that I do really respect and love, and it's such a sucky thing to happen. But it looks like, yeah, especially because, like, he's not gay. He's not gonna date a guy, no matter how feminine. But that's gonna suck. But I guess it's just how it has to be. This one may be sad. This was a sad episode. I didn't like this episode. It was sad. But I guess this will be the emoji one because it'll make me a little happier. So the description of this one won't be like a big code. It'll just be emojis, I think. That'll be at least a little... That'll cheer me up a little bit. Man, this was sad, but yeah. It's been on for longer than I wanted it to, but I guess it makes sense that it would take over 2 hours. Really unfortunate. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just go through with it. I won't be able to record any more episodes until, like, I don't know, until I have free time, which I might not have a lot of. I don't know if I can truly deny it. Maybe Thursday. I mean, obviously this'll, I don't know when this will be coming out. This will be coming out in, like, however many days. But Thursday for me, I think I'll record another episode. That should be the end of my week, and I have a lot of stuff going on. But beside that, thank you so much, everyone, for watching and listening to me be super mad and call Okabe a fucking idiot. Is very good. It is very good right now. It's heating up. I'm very invested in these characters. Thank you so much for listening and being with me. And remember, kids, try not to get stuck in a love you'll never be able to fulfill. One-sided stuff is just terrible. Goodbye, everyone, so much. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone. See ya.